Hello, and welcome to Void Arcade. I'm joined again by Jordan.
Yo.
Hello, Jordan.
Hello.
How you doing?
Great. Real excited.
Good. Real excited. This is a good episode. I've been waiting to do this Cyberpunk 2077 discussion for too long.
Yeah, this is like 6 months in the making or something, isn't it? Maybe even longer than that.
No. Yeah, truly, no.
When you start the timer.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely, for whatever reason, Cyberpunk's been out of the wheelhouse of almost everyone I knew. So I was really jazzed when I saw that you'd played it or were playing it.
Why do you think it's outside everybody else's wheelhouse? It's so weird.
Well, I have one friend, and he's actually the friend, back in 2013 who showed me the original CGI trailer for Cyberpunk. So I've been waiting for this game for like 5 ever with this guy specifically, and he's like,
he didn't play it.
And then he didn't play it because of the bugs and stuff. So he's like, I don't know if I'm going to get into it. Because he was he should now. He's like, I'm afraid that it's going to ruin my experience and it's not going to be worth the hype that I've had all these years. So I'm just kind of pretending that it never came out.
Well, what's hype even for? The worst thing that you want with hype is to get disappointed. But if you don't play it at all, then that, to me, seems like a disappointment.
Yeah. So that turned him off of that, and then I have a couple other friends that they probably won't play it. But I think it's a shame because there's such a gem of a game in here, and I think
it's amazing.
It is amazing, and it just tells these really like human stories.
Could I get your overall review of the game? First off, I'm curious. Is it like a perfect game to you, 10 out of 10, or like what would you classify it as?
Seeing this, I've been trying to grapple with this question for a really long time because, to me, the game is like so close to a masterpiece. I would almost consider it a perfect masterpiece, but I know there are issues. I know I have a bias for Cyberpunk stuff in general. So I'd call it like a 4.5 out of 5, like a 9 out of 10. And then the remaining would just be like the bugs, the little optimizations that could or should be in there, and the couple little bits of growing pains. But like from a narrative side of things, the setting, the art direction, this like masterpiece stuff. It's in my top 10 games of all time for sure.
It could be for me too. I think that your review is very, very similar to my review. I struggle with like the 1 to 10 ratings almost always anyways. It's hard to rate games like that, but truly. I agree. I think it's a little more nuanced, and I think you touched on a little of that nuance anyways. But I agree though. I would call it like a flawed masterpiece is what I would call it. Like it is so close.
Yes.
I would probably give it a 4.5. I would on a scale of 10, I might give it like an 8 though, which seems a little weird, but that's just kind of how I feel about the numbers, and the numbers are a flawed system anyways. But
truly,
but that's how I feel. There are some things I love the game. It's amazing, and it feels amazing, and it's undeniably fun in my opinion, right? And that's why I play games.
True.
But there are some pain points. I think particularly there are some missions and things that you do that for me just like cause some strain on the fun. I think like particularly there are things where like it makes you kind of wait and all you're doing is walking. That for me is like a big huge no-no, and it happens a couple times and it really like hinders my experience.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We can get into it.
It is what it is. Yeah. I think in particular there was a couple of bugs that hurt my experience just on top of the other things, the ones that I remember the most. There was a bug that I had, and this all the way up through the last mission to the last couple hours I was playing the game. There's a bug where my run key shift, I won't be able to sprint anymore. No sprinting. And I have to completely exit the game and then go back into the game. Yeah, so that I can sprint again. Happens also with jumping. Sometimes space doesn't work. So I can sprint, but I can't jump. Sometimes I can jump, but I can't sprint. And then, even on the last mission of the game, so I chose to have a Sandevistan in my build for some slow-mo. And it just wouldn't activate. In the last mission of the game, this pivotal piece to my character, to my entire build, not working.
Yeah. I can't remember.
But despite all that, I love this game.
Yeah, the truth for me is that bugs, there are experience ruining bugs, and honestly, those bugs sound a little experience ruining. But there are also other bugs that aren't a big deal, and to me, there are also bugs that actually add to the experience. There are bugs in Cyberpunk that I enjoyed.
Yes.
Oh, for instance, the T pose that always plays for me in the first cutscene or whatever it is, like the Jackie cutscene or whatever it is. They walk through the town and they're all T posing and just floating around, and it is so funny to me. I know it's a little immersion breaking, whatever. I think it's amazing.
Yeah. People talk about those immersion breaking bugs, and I'm like, dude, that's just funny.
Yeah, well, people love it. It's a whole thing for The Witcher 3, right? That Roach will appear on rooftops and stuff. That's like a meme, and people love it. But yeah, it's immersion breaking. But that's the other truth, is that for a game to be completely realistic, yeah, it would be 100% immersive, but it also wouldn't be fun, Yeah. In Witcher 3, imagine if you had to whistle to the Roach, make sure that he's in range, and then he runs from where he is to where you are, it just wasn't the intention of Roach being a more efficient way to travel. I struggle with that sometimes in games with the advanced travel, whether it be vehicles or horses or whatever. If it's too immersive, I never use them because it's not fun.
Yeah, exactly. There needs to be some kind of element of fun in the traversal, no matter what it is.
Yeah, some fun, just some quality of life improvements make it go a long way, I think. Just make it easy. Make it so that I can hop right into my car. I don't care if it pops into existence. These bugs that you experienced, they were on the latest patch. It wasn't the initial playthrough.
Yeah, but I played at launch. The day of launch, and I played through from launch until I beat the game, and I still had an excellent time.
Wow, you beat it at launch? I don't think I realized that.
Yeah. My first playthrough was, and I could probably let me bring up GOG. I'll even tell you I bought it on GOG and everything.
Did you say let me bring up God?
Yeah, GOG, G-O-G.
Oh, okay.
God knows. But yeah, I played it from launch, whenever that was. Wow. It's not loading.
I was a little slower than launch, and truth be told, I stopped fairly quickly the first time that I played through it because there were so many bugs, and also because my rig wasn't really built for it. It wasn't great at the time. I don't know. Yeah, neither was mine. I actually upgraded my CPU just to try and get a couple extra frames. Yeah, I think you were running a 960 or something like that, you said?
I have a 1660, and then I had a Ryzen 5, and I upgraded to a Ryzen 7 to get a little more CPU overhead. But yeah, the 1660 was a struggle.
Man, I was playing it on a 1080 at first.
Whew. Yeah, that would have been rough.
Yeah, it was difficult, and with the bugs, I think I could have done. I actually the second time I played it on that same 1080, the second time, but it was after all the patches, and I had upgraded my CPU, and so it played fairly well after that. I definitely think I prefer it now. I got the RTX 3060 in there, and I think that it'd be amazing. I opened it a little bit, but I was kind of in the middle of some narrative, and it's difficult for me to jump back into games when I'm right in the middle of something.
Yeah, I understand that. But yeah, I mean, even back then, I didn't experience a whole lot of bugs.
Huh?
So I played through the whole thing.
Amazing.
Had a good time. Came back for some reason. I forget why. Probably no. The anime. The anime brought me back.
Yo, Edge Runners actually I think is part of the reason why I enjoyed it so much this time. It made me feel way more immersed to have this show where I was seeing characters interact in the same world that the game is based in, like the exact same art direction and everything. It's awesome.
That was so trippy to me. Like to see them like driving on the same like highway, like the same bridge, and it's that exit that goes into Japantown. Is specifically the one I remember from the anime. They go off that bridge into Japantown from the same road. It just like blew my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, it's
the
exactly
locations you can actually visit. Like that's incredible. That is an incredible thing that I think has not been. I can't think of another place where that's been accomplished, where you can watch the show and go to that exact place in the game. Like it's the exact same city that they're in. It's amazing. So Edge Runners really did something for me.
Definitely agree. It's awesome. And I'm really glad I did, because I also got to experience all of the quality of life changes that have come up since launch. And I got to experience those.
Crafting in the first iteration of the game was the worst. It was such a chore. It's like so much better now. It's not even perfect, I'd say, but it's like so much better. You had to like, I think if I remember right, when you were dismantling stuff, something like that, you had to do it like one at a time. You couldn't, there was no option.
Yep. You had to do it one at a time.
Oh, it was terrible. It's terrible. It really needed some quality of life work, and it got some.
Yeah, it did. I actually, both of my builds on both my characters were using the engineering perk.
I'm going to be real with you. I think that's actually a complaint of my game, is that engineering feels almost like a necessary skill tree, right? To do a build without engineering is silly, even though it doesn't really add necessarily to the playstyle you're going for. It contributes to every playstyle. You kind of need it, right?
Yep.
And the fact that you can't fully level every tree is such a letdown for me, honestly.
Yes. Oh my gosh. When I realized that the first time, and even I guess around with the second playthrough, I totally spaced that this was a thing that even existed. Like, I was just doing a bunch of like stealth, and I was like, oh, I'm leveling up my stealth stat. Nope. Your stealth is capped to level 2. Yeah. You get no more experience for that.
Yeah. No, it's terrible. Yeah. And the moment I stopped gaining experience and levels, when I reached max level and I still had stuff to do, that was a real pain point for me. A huge pain point that prevents me from saying that it's like a perfect masterpiece. Was that it feels half as good. Let me tell, like, you want to know my opinion about Call of Duty and why it's so successful?
Tell.
It's because of the cha-ching noise, the noise that it makes when you kill somebody, and the plus 100 that pops up on your screen. That's why it's so fun. That's why it's been successful. Like, them doing that is the reason that it's good, right? It's this feedback that you get. Like, even like the hit, like little, you know what I'm saying? Little X.
Yeah.
It feels really good. It's this feedback. Everything that you do feels like you're getting rewarded. You've done something. You've like killed an enemy, and it feels really good. You're getting this feedback. And the same thing is true for Cyberpunk, except for that they cut it off in the end game. You stop getting that feedback. You stop getting experience, and you stop leveling up. You stop getting rewards for doing anything cool. There's almost no reason. At the end, it feels like there's no feedback to say like, hey, good job. We're proud of you.
Yeah. It almost felt like, because this time around, I did not complete all of the NCPD scanner hustles, like the combat scenarios that are just littered throughout the entire map.
I love
Didn't do them because there's just, well, one, I already did them for completionist's sake. I got the achievement on my other character, but for 2, there just really isn't a point. After you've completely leveled your character out, you spent all the experience points you can. Yeah. There's just no point into the combat anymore. So you can just go from story mission to story mission just to finish it off.
Exactly. It is. Your only reward then becomes like the story and potentially like some loot kind of stuff, which is still cool, but it just doesn't feel as good.
But if you were leveling into engineering, You're creating the best loot and upgrading it so you don't even need the loot.
It's true. Yeah, no, it's really true. It's, there becomes no reward in the end of the game, and that's why it fell off a little bit. I think that the beginning and middle of the game were the high points for me. I really loved those portions of the game. And then the end, it really fell off, and that is a big reason why I stopped just shy of finishing the final mission, because I just felt there was this point where I got to where I was like, I have had as much fun as I'm going to have with this game.
At that point, it's just kind of the narrative has to drag you in, or you're kind of just done.
Yeah, the truth for me, and I know I'm fairly confident that this is not the same for you, but narrative in games has almost no sway on my opinion of the game. The only time it does is if the narrative is really bad, then I notice. But otherwise, it can have either you need no narrative or a good narrative, and then it's great. I love it. I'm fine with that. Either of those. You just can't have a bad narrative, and then it's great.
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of there with you. You know what just recently came out, and this is kind of off topic because it's not Cyberpunk, but Destiny 2's yearly expansion, Lightfall, just came out this Tuesday.
I meant to ask you that before the show about that, but here we are.
I've been going nuts playing this expansion. They have this new ability that adds this entirely new gameplay option, and you're airborne most of the time with it. It's got a grapple. It adds all these new layers and elements to the combat, and it makes the gameplay feel like this is a whole new game. And so when I originally got my opinion of finishing the legendary campaign, kind of just like Halo 2's legendary campaign, just a short little 6-hour jaunt through some story beats, and they show you some new stuff and whatever. I had a really good opinion of it, but when I went online later, I've noticed that like all the content creators are like, this is the worst story we've ever had, and I'm like, but what? And truthfully, there is some story elements that don't match up with the bar of quality that this game has usually had from the makers of Halo, from even the last Destiny 2 expansion. This story, I guess, is on a lower bar, but I've just been having so much fun in the gameplay that I just didn't even care to notice until somebody pointed it out to me.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. It's just gameplay above all, really. Is it fun? Once again, that's why I play games. And the narrative can add to that fun, but it's not the major component for me. It feels similar to music to me, right? Like, really good music definitely amplifies the quality of a game. But if it's decent music, that's still fine. The only thing you can't have is bad music.
True. And I think that the masterpiece comes together when you can synergize everything at the same time. Is the gameplay matching up with the music? Is it matching up with the emotions that are brought on because of the narrative beats and the characters? And that's where we enter a masterpiece territory, is when we get those synergies going. And Cyberpunk does have a couple of those, and that's one of the reasons I really like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like the narrative of Cyberpunk is very good, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to go into any of that specifically or whatnot, but I know we haven't really gotten into Act 1, whatever it is, but the narrative is really good. I think that it's a great narrative. It's very interesting. It kind of pulls you in. Also, the way that they tell the story, I think, is very good and very important for games. It doesn't necessarily force everything on you, and it feels very much like you're still a part of the story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. I think after Act 1, it feels almost non-linear.
Yes, which is very important to me.
Yeah, because it has those missions that are important. They are main missions. They do progress the story, but getting to those, I mean, it's totally up to you. You could spend all your time just doing gigs or something. You don't even have to do those.
Yeah, and the gigs are my favorite. I think that like that was their intention, right? Just like with The Witcher 3, there's so many side things that you can do, side quests, and the side quests actually feel important. They feel like you're influencing things. I think that, and this is kind of just like it's not even necessarily a con of Cyberpunk, but just video games in general. I do love to see when your actions influence the world around you. Like,
yes,
there's that one mission with the politician, right? You know what I'm talking about. It's an amazing side quest.
Yeah.
It's amazing. At the end of the day, though, you only influence their sphere, kind of. It kind of ends with them. But the reality is that the implications of that side quest have far-reaching effects, right? But you don't get to see those really. And I would love if it did impact the world a little bit more. I do think you get a few like radio snippets here and there when you do side missions. It might just be the main missions. I can't really remember, but stuff like that is good. But I would love to see like kind of bigger changes, I guess, throughout the world because of what you're doing.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite side missions. But I do agree. I do wish there was a little more variance on like how your choices made impacts on the world.
Yeah. Like, it felt like this important decision that I was making, you know, like it's going to affect the political sphere of Night City, but then but you don't get to see that really. And while I don't necessarily expect that, I think that would take potentially just an impossible amount of work. I would love to see it at some point. I think it would be incredible, something like that.
Yeah, I agree. Like, even if like you told them something and there was like a new advert that started playing in your car, and I think there are a couple radio snippets that come through from side things, but even more like if there was like a billboard that went up for a campaign, or like if somebody, I feel like there could be more deaths. We could kill off some more characters.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I agree, having some more, and I think that's just one of the things that had to happen because of the delays and the bad management of this game originally.
Yeah.
Is the choices not really mattering in the final patch? Because I think, and I guess this is something to bring up with Act 1. I'll just mention it briefly here if we want to get into it. But the Maelstrom Gang mission, the very beginning of the game, did you know there's 6 different endings to that one mission?
I had no idea.
There are 6 different endings. What? So, the first one, so you can pay for the drone for 10,000 eddies, and that leads to an ending. You can bug the Maelstrom, right? And that leads into a different ending. You can tell them about the bug, I think, right? Oh yeah, you can tell them about the bug. But every one of those choices leads to a different ending. Sometimes the Maelstrom gangers will die. Sometimes they'll help you. Sometimes they'll be against you. One of the endings leads to a spicy romance with the Corpo lady.
Yeah, no, that is, I mean, and that's kind of an example, honestly, of like, okay, well, your decisions have like an impact because now you can do this other thing that you aren't normally able to do outside of making that decision, you know? Like, stuff like that, I think is great. Like, giving you more options of like, okay, well, now this is opened up to you versus this. Just like branching paths is great.
And the other one is if one of the endings leads to an additional weapons vendor. So if you go back to that place, if you helped the Maelstromers, there's a weapons vendor in there.
Oh,
that gives you a discount on goods.
I didn't realize this, but a part of that mission is that you can save Brick. And I didn't realize that on my first...
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea. I didn't know he was in there. But like it has, and then that has like far-reaching implications. He comes up in like Act 2 or whatever. I can't remember when he comes up, but I didn't do it, but I know that he can influence the story.
Yeah, and I feel like that mission and just the whole Act 1 is kind of like that must have been the vertical slice that they showed to their stockholders or players or whoever, because the first just Act 1 feels so complete to me, because there almost isn't ever a mission after that where there's so many choices and there's a lot of differences after the missions are done. Like, this is the only one where there's just a lot of choices, a lot of options to use your life path.
Yeah, the life paths.
the life paths. What was your life path?
I did too. I played through it. The first time I played through it, I did the, and I didn't play all the way through it. Once again, I quit kind of early on, my first time. But I did the Nomad one. And then the second time I did what I feel like should have been the only life path in the end. I did the street kid.
Yeah, that's the one I didn't do. I chose Corpo the first time, and then I did Nomad this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't do Corpo, but in my opinion, the street kid makes the most sense, and like I think it's kind of just like V's backstory truly, like it's what it should be. And there's almost no point in having the life paths, in my opinion. I think the street kid is just like the one.
Yeah, every time the life path seemed to come up in dialogue, it was like, hey, I was a nomad once. And then the other character's like, cool, I'm going to tell you exactly what I would have told you if you never said that.
Yeah, well, and I feel like the only thing that it offers is sometimes you can like skip certain things, but I don't even know that that's more fun. That's not very rewarding. Like,
yeah, I guess I did. And there's a couple extra lore bits that I got when I was a nomad and then I was doing nomad quests. Because V would say stuff like, oh, I know how much this tradition means because I was in a nomad group. I was in the backers. And so I would kind of know more about like traditionally what a group of nomads would be doing in the Badlands. But other than that, it's like I didn't really get much from being a nomad.
Yeah.
Same with being a corpo.
Is it?
You'd kind of get a just a tiniest little drip of information about what it was like to be in that position.
Yeah.
But not enough. Not enough to, like, almost not enough to justify it existing. I would have definitely preferred if it was just the one.
Yeah, it felt like a gimmick to me. It felt like something that like is potentially pretty cool, like starting it. But the reality is you do the exact same things no matter what life path you start. There's not even even something as simple as like having an opening quest for each one would I think have been better. And there kind of is, but like not really. It's like nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
It pretty much it's like three to 5 minutes in like a unique area, and then boop, you're doing a job with Jackie.
Yeah, it made it feel very gimmicky. Like, additionally, I think if your life path would have opened up separate missions, that could have been awesome. You know, like missions that are only available to you because of that life path or whatever. Just something more. It just felt a little tacked on. Once again, kind of one of those things as a part of the vertical slice to be like, wow, look at all this. Like, there's going to be so much that you can do. If you choose a different life path, there's going to be a lot of... And here's, I think, one thing that really prevented the team from making a masterpiece is too much emphasis on replayability. I would have much preferred like end game content over replayability, right? The reason that you can't the reason you can't max out your character and become like the god of Night City, which is what I wanted, but the reason you can't do that is because of replayability, so that you can do separate builds. And like it's a funny choice because there's not even any online play, so it's not a balancing issue necessarily. It's a silly choice in my personal opinion to focus on replayability so much. Also, let me just say, because it popped into my head now and it's an important aspect of the game, is I do wish that there was more end game content. There's not much that you can do outside of the like story and side quests after that. Like, I wish that there were more like random encounters, I guess, right? I love the police scanner stuff. I love that. It makes it feel like I have this reason to like get better and get better loot, and like then I can go use it on these police scanners and like in this encounter where I'm fighting people. And I wish that there were more like random, more impactful encounters, people coming up to you, almost like a Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War kind of feel, right? Where like there's kind of these guys walking around like, oh my god, could you imagine if they had been able to implement some sort of nemesis system in Cyberpunk? That would be amazing. System. Amazing.
Yeah, like your enemy comes back with more cyberware.
Yeah, this like gang members, you know, like leaders of these gangs, like having stuff like that. I think, oh my goodness, like that makes me feel really like if something like that existed. Let me also say, like, I feel like Shadow of Mordor is the closest thing I have to an open world roguelike experience, and that's truly what I want so badly. I want procedural generation in the encounters so it feels endless, and Shadow of Mordor is one of my all-time favorite games, so I want more of that kind of thing, you know, where it feels just like this endless experience.
Yeah, no, I agree, because I mean, even this, like, the cyber psychos are probably the closest thing that you can get to end game content.
But I did that throughout anyways, so
yeah. But the thing is their difficulty is not super difficult. Even in this last playthrough I did on the hardest difficulty, and it wasn't like 30 hours in before, because the quest marker will be like, oh, the danger here is really high. Danger is really high. But I would actually target those high danger scenarios because I liked the difficulty. But even with those, it wasn't a challenge. After you build craft just a little bit, like, I'm not the smartest dude on the block. I don't synergize my builds. I just do what's fun.
Yeah, no, we're not min-maxing here. We're just playing.
Yeah, I'm not min-maxing or anything, but I could go slap these cyber psychos silly. You know, I get a call. Hey, don't kill him. All right. So I take out a metal pipe and I beat his head in until he is unconscious, or her head.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not difficult.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I think that the only way I could even like fathom creating my own difficulty was I would try and do everything in stealth. And that was kind of the way that I brought my own difficulty to the table. Is I enjoyed not getting caught, but I like to be bold.
I did do a lot more stealth in my second playthrough, and I think it's really fun that they do offer those types of decisions, gameplay decisions, where you can choose to interact with an encounter in multiple ways. There's probably like 3 main approaches most of the times, I feel like. But even like the direction that you come at it from is a little different. But anyways, I do like that, and I think that's something to kind of be said about different builds. But the reality is that even if you maxed out your character, you still have, it just gives you more options. You can approach an encounter in one way one time, and then another way another time. So I like that aspect. Once again, one of my biggest gripes, the freaking level cap. But just coming back to it.
Yep. I did want to say something that popped in my head that I wanted to mention is like the gigs. I loved how every area had options for you to tackle it in different ways. Like, for example, if your engineering was high, you could open shutters or grates or something to sneak into an area, or like if your net running skills were really good, you could shut down all of the cameras and you could sneak around a little bit better that way, or, you know, shut down someone's Kiroshi optics, sneak around them, or, you know, whatever. But I almost feel like if I was caught, because a lot of those are stealth options. And so I felt like whenever I was caught and it became just an all out, like just a gunfight, just a shootout straight up, I would almost feel a little bad that I didn't take those other routes to my advantage. Do you know what I mean? Because it feels like a lot of the areas are designed to be stealth only.
Yeah, it feels like very rewarding.
Yeah, there was never much an advantage of just being like a guns blazing type of character, like using shotguns and stuff. Because the level designs were never really catering to that kind of play, more so than they were catering to being stealthy.
Yeah, I feel like offering stealth as like a potential for any encounter does kind of make that the case. Additionally, also focusing on like builds where you would focus on stealth, or you might focus on like straightforward aggression, makes it so that you have to offer both of those in every instance, because someone who builds for stealth wouldn't necessarily want to go in the other way, whereas somebody who builds aggressively might do a little stealth always. I don't know. It's an interesting dilemma, and I think a lot of games struggle with it when they offer stealth. I mean, I remember Skyrim. It was like, why would I do anything else other than stealth and bows? Like, But I feel you.
So here's a question. This is kind of going back into the Act 1.
Cool.
Do you feel like you missed out on the breaking into the merc scene? So you remember in the very beginning of the game, after your first, quote-unquote, first gig with Jackie, they showed just a montage of you getting to know the fixers and stuff. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you missed out on the moving up in the merc world?
Yeah, I saw this in your show notes that it kind of felt like you had to start over anyways. And I agree. Like, there does come a point where it's like, well, what happened to all the progress that I made off screen with these people? Like, why am I so unknown in this world when I've been doing this work potentially for like years with Jackie?
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's exactly what you're talking about, but yeah, I think it would have been fun to have worked up from. I probably would have preferred almost that game, maybe, where it's mainly about you working your way up from nothing to like this big time edge runner, you know?
Exactly. And I almost feel like why do we have that cutscene? Like, I get that they wanted us to feel close with Jackie.
I think that's why.
You know, again, this could be another one of those like time restraint things, because maybe Jackie was supposed to be with us for a lot of gigs and stuff before they had to make changes and whatever. But yeah, we have to repeat a lot of get to know you stuff when technically it kind of already happened. Yeah, with Jackie.
No, it's true. I think that is kind of what it is. Like, they do a fairly good, and you have this in your notes, they do a fairly good job of like getting you attached to Jackie. Jackie's a very endearing character, and he's like fun to be around, but you don't get to be with him for very long. And I do think that that's unfortunate. I would have preferred a little bit longer with Jackie for sure. I think it happens all very quickly, and most of your experience with Jackie happens like off screen basically.
But he's a great character though. They do a good job.
Yeah, I will say he now this is a Jordanism, right? This is strange. Okay, it's something that like bugs me, but it feels like I often think about like, okay, who's the like target audience of this character? And to me, it feels like most of like the high school guys that I went to high school with, if they never matured at all, is like the audience that I feel like Jackie really is built for, you know?
Yes. No, I feel that.
So I like Jackie. Once again, I feel like Jackie is a very endearing character, but that's the one thing about him where he feels like there's a lot of like cliches and things about him that are very like, well, he's just like a high schooler. Small gripes. Great character.
Small gripes. Yeah. It's all good. They kill him.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah, it's over for him.
Yep, and it's good that they build up to that fairly well. That mission was really fun.
Heist.
Yeah, the heist was a really good one. I think there were parts of it that were like a little long. There were my complaints of like where you're walking through. The benefit about that one was that there was a little more immersion as you're walking through. It's kind of still putting you in the world. You're getting to see the Arasaka Tower and kind of some goings-ons in the tower, and it's a cool set piece. Versus other times you'll be walking through like apartment buildings that you've already seen, and there's nothing to look at and there's nothing happening around you except for that you're walking with the character. Yeah, there's a particular one where it's like it's the doll. Can't remember her name right now.
Judy.
No. Yeah, it's Judy's quest line. And you walk with Judy at one point, like through this slum area, and it takes seriously like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Additionally, I had to restart that point because I was getting like really bored, and I think I like just was skipping through some dialogue, and then it was this thing where it's like, okay, let's go kill this guy in the basement or whatever. Yep. And I pressed the wrong button, and it was like, oh, I guess you don't want to. And I was like, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to do that. Like, gosh dang it. I like pressed the wrong elevator button because I didn't quite understand where he was. And so I had to walk with her the whole way through for like another 15 minutes just listening to the same spiel that got me super bored in the first place.
Actually, you know what? I think I actually did something really similar because I remember doing that twice through. Oh, you know what it was? Is I jumped and I didn't make it on the ledge, so I died. So I had to repeat that walking section as well, all the way up to that point.
It's the worst walk. If nothing else, everything else could be perfect in the game. If that part in the game existed, I could not give the game masterpiece, is the truth of it for me. I hated that part. It was terrible. But that's so funny. Yeah. It's a pain point.
That's funny.
I was interested to talk about the voice acting because I did like most of it. Truly. Most all of it. I thought it was great. I will say Johnny Silverhand is like, okay, he gets a 7 from me.
Yeah, I thought he was really good the first playthrough, but this one I was like, he could add a little more something.
Yeah, it's very like monotone. There are definitely like, there seem to be times when he kind of does, he says everything kind of the same, right? Like, yeah. If you look, what's the actor's name? I love him, but I forget his name right now.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves. And I don't even necessarily love him because I think he's a good actor. I just like his interviews and stuff, I guess. He's like a good person, it feels like.
Yeah, he's like a personal guy.
Yeah, he's super nice. If you watch like The Matrix, I watched The Matrix again recently with him, and he's actually really good in The Matrix. It feels like a character that like it kind of works for him. Johnny Silverhand, he's trying to be like too badass the whole time. It feels like he like doesn't necessarily know what a rock star. He like Johnny Silverhand to me is the lead singer of Rage Against the Machine. That's like who he is, right?
Yeah.
But he's not played that way by Keanu Reeves, in my opinion. I don't know who he's played as. Not a real person. That's who he's kind of playing as. It's just this constant badass with no other like motivation except for that he's a rock star.
A rock star with terrorism in his veins.
Honestly, I feel like the terrorism barely comes into play. Like he's mad at the system or whatever, but he mostly just feels like he's trying to be apathetic about everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. So once again, 7. All the voice acting is good. Some of it is great. I really think that V's voice actor is fantastic, both male and female. Honestly, I think we're amazing.
I was female both times, so I didn't experience the male voice actor.
I see. Yeah, I was male both times, but I've heard some of the female voice lines anyways. Okay. So, but the male voice lines are amazing too. So,
okay, yeah, the female voice lines I thought were very good.
Yeah, it's very good, very immersive.
The last, and I think what really put this into perspective and what made me add this on here is a lot of the gaming news where people are not enjoying the voice acting and the writing in some games. I think Forspoken, one of them, was it Callisto Protocol was another one of them. There's just been a couple of games that have released where the voice acting has not been super great, and so I was like, man, Cyberpunk's is actually not bad.
Fairly stellar.
That's fairly stellar. They put a lot of good inflection on their lines. Most of them try to, add a little something, a little flavor to how they say things, and the writing really is not that bad, and it kind of feels like and I haven't ever played the tabletop game, but it all feels like everything jives. And like the lingo, and especially,
I love the slang. It's so great.
The slang is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and that they use it consistently, and that they deliver it without me feeling embarrassed.
Yes,
it's amazing.
That is very important.
Yes, it feels like a real world with real slang, and they're using the real life slang of Night City, and they seem very in character. They do a great job. Additionally, I want to say that the Phantom Liberty expansion, I think, has some big names in it as well, right? If I'm not wrong,
Idris Elba.
Yeah, Idris Elba, yeah, which I think is awesome. I don't know. I'm excited to see. I'm really, really excited for the expansion, honestly.
Yes.
I hope it's amazing.
I do as well. And I hear that it's supposed to be like just massive, like 40 hours.
Yeah, which is awesome. Even being able to revisit Cyberpunk. Please, dear God, fingers crossed, add some end game content, add some procedural generated content, please.
Yes, let me have more levels. Let me level up, please.
Yeah, give me a reason to play beyond max level as it is now, right? Give me a reason to keep playing the game, because I love the game. I love being in the world, but there comes a point where it's more of a chore than it is fun.
Yes. Oh, gosh. My one fear, though, is, see, when I played through Witcher 3, I played and I found the DLC just in a regular playthrough because I had like the Game of the Year edition that had all the DLCs.
Right.
But when you get into one of the DLCs, you find the old machine that creates Witchers, and Geralt's like, I guess I could sit myself on this and blah blah blah. And I was like, cool, there's these new gameplay options, these new mechanics that get added into how I play. And then it turned out that it just used the exact same currency as the level up system, so I couldn't use it.
Oh.
And I didn't want to because I already had a play style. So I was like, so you're telling me if I wanted to use this, I would have to start an entirely new character and then base my entire being on this new system that you implemented. So my fear is that they'll do a similar thing, like here's another skill tree, and then I'll have like a character I already have that I won't be able to use any of it.
Yeah, I agree. They could go any route. I think I'll enjoy it no matter what. I do try to avoid hype trains. They're getting too hyped. I know that this one is notorious. I think this one is a game that broke people for the hype trains, honestly.
Truly.
But there were a couple bangers of hype train like disappointments. No Man's Sky, I think, was the big one for me, where I never ever pre-order. Never do I pre-order. But I do get really excited about games, and then I'm still sad if it comes out and it gets poor reviews or whatever, you know.
Bro, and I wish I could say the same. I pre-ordered No Man's Sky. Was let down. I didn't pre-order a game until I pre-ordered this game.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk. Ugh. And then I didn't pre-order until I pre-ordered Destiny 2 Lightfall, which came out this week. And then the narrative's kind of not super awesome. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. What's wrong with me?
I will say there is some merit to pre-ordering, I think, as a video game journalist, such as yourself, right? Because you want to get it early. You want to get it as soon as possible, even if it is bad, to let the people know, right?
Truly. Yeah.
Even being able, and then as you build up, then eventually you start being able to get it even before the release, which is obviously ideal. But
Indeed.
But so I think that there's some merit in it. But as the average consumer, I think that if anyone were asking me for advice, I would say never, ever, ever pre-order.
Never pre-order.
As a consumer, no, don't do that. Wait. There's no reason. You don't get anything for doing that.
Seriously. Ugh.
Yeah. But do participate in early access if you're into that kind of thing, I think. I think that there's a lot of... early access is great because you can influence the game. But pre-order, you don't get anything. Yes. Nothing but disappointment.
Wish listing is the other one.
Oh, yeah.
That helps games because you can help the developer go to publishers like, hey, I've got
this many
10,000 wish lists. Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
Let
definitely.
me publish my game.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's huge. All that is huge. But
yeah.
Anywho's
though.
Hope the expansion's good.
Yeah, I hope it's good. I also hope it's good. So let's see. We kind of were. I think we've been doing pretty good. But Act 1, you start out. You choose where you came up from. Doesn't really affect the story much. V meets a guy. You and this guy Jackie do a gig to get some money. It's an illegal gig because the city.
Mm-hmm. And it's the gig of a lifetime. Set you up for life kind of gig.
Yeah, set you up for life kind of gig. So you do the gig goes wrong, Jackie dies, you end up having to put the item you were set to steal in your head, because it's basically a USB drive for your brain. Mm-hmm. And it was in a cooling box, but the box gets busted. You put it in your head, turns out there's a conscious of another guy on there, and he is angry, and you're angry, and the guy that was trying to set you up for life with the job, he tries to kill you because reasons. Yeah, and everything kind of goes south, but it just kind of ends up being, okay, there's this guy in my head. I can't get him out of my head because reasons.
Also, he's killing me. If I don't get him out of my head, I die.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah, his conscious is overriding your conscious.
Mm-hmm. Which I will say, speaking of immersion breaking, that gameplay hook, or that like story hook to me, is very immersion breaking.
Okay.
And because the reason is I can take however long I want to go to the main quests. There's no timer.
Yes.
But they treat it, I can wait. There's like a system in Cyberpunk to wait, right? I could wait literal weeks, and they give you a specific time. The doc, who, like, the Ripper doc, I forget his name, but he's one of my favorite characters. Vic, yeah. Vic gives you a strict timeline. He says, like, a week at most, essentially, right? Mm-hmm. I can literally sit there, go out of that chair, wait a literal week, and nothing will happen. Like, I could wait for a month in that room and nothing would happen. Like, and so that to me is where it's like immersion breaking. There's no timer. There shouldn't be a timer on this. Like, and you shouldn't give me a specific time like that. That's terrible, in my opinion. Like, and I know I'm sharing a lot of gripes. It's almost a masterpiece to me. I think that the gripes I have are often more interesting to talk about than all the things that I do love about the game. And I do love the game, but truly. No,
I think I had a similar problem with talking about Metroid Dread with Chris.
I remember that, actually. I was like, yeah, I kind of got talked out of the game a little bit, and it's like, oh man, but I love that game.
Yeah, we had a lot of interesting negative things to say.
Yeah, it's easy to kind of pick apart the negatives, and it's interesting. It is interesting to talk about the negatives, you know. And I would love to have seen some of these things like change, and for the game to be absolutely perfect. I don't expect that from any developer, but you know, it's fun to think of a world where that is the case. Maybe in some alternate universe, the perfect Cyberpunk exists, and it met everyone's expectations, even the people that thought it was going to be a life simulator for living in Night City.
Yeah, exactly. No, and I think there is a perfect version. A lot of people have made mods to make it their perfect version. So that's I wonder if there's a mod that kills V after a couple of weeks. It would just be really funny.
It would be. The other thing I think it makes it immersion break. It's almost like there was a little like disconnect between the narrative writers and then like everybody else. It kind of felt like, because there are missions that take place over the course of days, and it tracks your time accurately, right? It's like, okay, it's been a day. Yeah. Now I'm gonna receive a call from this person who said they'd call me tomorrow. So it's like tracking time, and it makes it feel like the time is important, except for in the main mission.
It's just one of them things.
It's one of them things. Yeah, it's like an interesting conflict, but I wish it had been a little different. I will say I put it on too late. I wish that I had put it on from the very beginning, but I did put the no level cap mod on, and it definitely improved. It's the only way that I got to the point that I got to in the game, but I think that if I were to recommend anybody to play through Cyberpunk, if they're interested at all in getting mods at any point, they should just put that mod on from the very beginning. That's my opinion.
See, I was so close to doing that too.
Yeah.
I looked it up and everything, but I don't know why I decided against it. I think I just was lazy.
I mean, it's modding Cyberpunk is a little bit of it's not as streamlined as some other things, if I remember right, but it's not bad though.
Mm-hmm. The other thing that I do want to mention before I forget it is the perfect Cyberpunk could exist. And that's because it is speculated that any and all future Cyberpunk games will take place in Night City. It will always take place on the same map. And that's because the creator has pretty much specified that everything happens in Night City. Night City is like, it's like the house. When you go to Vegas, it's the house. The city always wins. The city is always the antagonist. And so the community theory is that the entire map of Night City will be ported to the sequel. It'll be touched up in a new engine because they're using Unreal.
Wait, they'll touch it up. Is there a sequel announced
for Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily. But this is kind of community speculation.
At any point that there is a sequel, then it will take place there.
Yeah. Well, actually, because they bought a little studio out in, I believe, Philadelphia, Boston. No, Boston. It was
CD
definitely
Projekt
Boston.
Red did?
Yes, so they bought a little studio in Boston specifically for everything about Cyberpunk.
Ooh.
So that's also a little root to this. But so the speculation goes is the map will be ported, and because the map has already been done, it's already been made, most of the time will be able to be spent making missions and focusing on the story and the gameplay.
That is amazing.
Because
actually.
the map's already done.
Yeah, I do think there is something to be said about, like, there was this trend for a long time, and I think it's slowed down a little bit, but like bigger and bigger maps, right? That's what open world games would boast. It's like it's an enormous map. I think that maybe the thing that put a stop to that as well was No Man's Sky, right? The biggest possible map that anyone has ever made is No Man's Sky. But was it good? Not at first. You know, like, just because a map is big doesn't mean that it's filled with content. It doesn't mean that it's going to be interesting to interact with. So I think that there's definitely something to be said about taking the same map that you've made, making no additions except for the content within the world, which I think is an amazing idea, and I really hope that is the case.
Yes. Yeah, me too. But I'm also the guy that I really like the Deus Ex games. Like Human Revolution. It's not a very big open world, but it's a dense one. There's always a little secret to explore. There's a place you can jump to find a secret cache of items or weapons or something. I don't know. I feel like I've always had the philosophy that a dense world is better than a big one.
I 100% agree, especially because it means that there's less emphasis on just walking from place to place, right? Because you could make a map bigger artificially just by kind of distancing every point of interest, essentially, right? But that just means more walking. Like, it's not more fun.
Yeah, and the other note I have is I'm playing through Spider-Man Remaster right now on PC.
Cool.
And that's a big open world, and that has a ton of traversal. But the thing is that game is all about the traversal.
It's true.
There's fun ways to get from point A to B. That's like 30% of the game is just being Spider-Man swinging around New York City.
Oh yeah. Well, and they add things in that game.
Yeah, it adds stuff. And if there's gonna be a big journey from point A to point B, it's either got to be fast travel or it's got to be fun. But if it's going to be fast travel, then why not just have it be like in a more dense map?
Yeah, just close, make it closer together. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's definitely a lot that goes into like planning out a map, and they've got professionals doing that who have had years of experience making maps and like why they would make certain decisions. But it doesn't always work out. So I definitely think, as a player, that is what I want is density above all else. Additionally, I would love for my time to be filled with novelty and fun, whether that be the combat or the traversal. Ideally every moment is an interesting moment, but at the same time there's probably something to be said about having a little downtime, and there are developers who talk about having like a home base and how like having that time to kind of like decompress, make a new plan is important in games. So there's merit in everything, but a dense map is my preference.
Indeed. Let's pivot and maybe go into the music, because a great 5-layer burrito, Gandhi. This is just, the music in here is just perfection. And I can't stress that enough. It's been in my Spotify yearly rewind for the past 2 years. Like all of my top songs, the top genres, even categories, it's all littered. And it is like borderline perfect.
I love the music. I do think, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, I do think it's very interesting that we love the different music in the game, there's something to be said about the offering of music when two people who have very different musical tastes can both think that there's like masterpiece music in it.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Granted, I think that our musical tastes do overlap. I love like electronica. I love like EDM, any of that is awesome. Like the song is like kind of the theme of Cyberpunk to me, and I think it's an incredible song in its own right. And in the game, I think it makes it feel far more like you're actually in Night City when you're listening to V and some of the other music.
The artist inclusions, like freaking Grimes, I love her songs in there. And then just a couple of these other ones. Graves, that's in the rap. That's in the rap side of the world.
I'm not positive about Graves, but I do know Run the Jewels. Run the Jewels, for which you have no songs on your playlist of like songs for Cyberpunk, but which I have loved for years and years, and I have many of their songs, Cyberpunk and otherwise, in my music. But I think they're amazing, and I think that they're an incredible inclusion, speaking of artists that are in there.
Yeah, it's funny that I am not a rap guy, so I've unleashed my destruction upon the soundtrack for my daily listenings. But there was like, last year when I was working in office, I made a playlist of all the Cyberpunk music, and every time a song came on that I would skip, I would just remove it from that playlist. It's still like an 8-hour long playlist, so I would just listen to it once a day. And then I'd go home and I'd go back to work and I'd start the playlist again, and I'd listen to all of Cyberpunk's music again. And I did that for like 2 weeks.
You know, I've heard about psycho. No, it's amazing. I think that's great. But I except for that you removed Run the Jewels, but other than that, amazing. But no, I there's this person I've heard of who does like, they basically like cosplay secretly, right? They'll wear anime outfits that look like normal, you know? Oh,
I like that.
And I love it. And it seems like that's the next step to that. Like, listen to the Cyberpunk soundtrack and then find an outfit from the Cyberpunk universe that fits in, you know? It's like business casual or whatever, and then just pretend that you're in Cyberpunk for a while. And I think that's the real secret to enjoying life, is little things like that.
Truly. You know, no, and I've had this obsession since Fallout 3, maybe even since GTA 4, whichever one came out first. But it's these in-game radios that I felt like I couldn't get anywhere else. And I guess with Fallout 3 specifically, that's just a bunch of old music.
It is. The Fallout 3 radio was awesome.
Yeah, that's banger stuff. And so when I found out, I have Spotify, someone's made a playlist with all of those songs, I put it in my car, and it's like I am transported back into like Fallout 3. I'm walking across the wasteland trying to avoid
which is so flies. Like, no, I 100% get that feeling. I think that a lot of people do. It's very relatable. And it brings me to this big tangent. It's a huge tangent, but have you heard of Zom 100 or Zombie 100, an upcoming anime?
No.
Basically, I'll give you the very brief synopsis. It's basically about this person who dreads work, right? He's like dreading going to work. He doesn't want to go to work the next day. Very common experience, right?
Right.
Then he gets to work, and the zombie apocalypse comes, and he is jazzed out of his mind that he doesn't have to go back to work the next day. And that's like the concept. I think it's so funny and kind of reflects, I think, a lot of people's mentality these days. Like, it's this thing, it's like this funny observation of like, a lot of people feel like they would prefer an apocalypse over the day-to-day life that currently happens. Which is funny, but I think it's an accurate observation, perhaps.
Truly. No, truly.
Until we get into the apocalypse. I mean, the reality is that most people would maybe feel that way and then immediately become a zombie. I know I would.
Yeah, probably. Be like, well, I'm not prepared for this all.
Yeah, nor do I want to be. Like, I don't know. I think that in that case, my personal, I would rather just die at the beginning of the apocalypse.
Yeah, but, pretty much.
Anyway, sorry for the huge aside.
No. I would have many video game radios to take me through the apocalypse.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's just something novel about listening to video game music, specifically ones that are through an in-game radio. And the only thing that I think would make it even better that I do still miss out on is I wish there was like commercials or like quips.
Ooh.
like GTA 4 specifically, I'm thinking of, they'll stop and they'll say something stupid, and then just they'll be like the next track. Or Fallout 4 be like, "This is a Dorito coming to you live from Galaxy News Radio."
Yeah, no,
I wish there was just like a mod for Spotify that would throw in those little quips every once in a while, like, "We're coming to you live from the wasteland.
That's a great
go
idea.
out this way."
That's an amazing idea, honestly.
So I really enjoy listening to Cyberpunk in my car because, I don't know, it makes me feel like I'm living in Night City.
Yeah.
Or like, oh my gosh, the tracks, like, and it's almost it is truly psychotic that I know the names of these even though there's like no words in them. Outsider No More, The Sacred and the Profane, Been Good to Know You, V.
The V.
And like other tracks. Yeah, like other tracks like that just have this really like emotional, palpable, emotional.
It's like dark. It's like heavy, isn't it? Those ones?
Yeah, really heavy. They set the ambiance of the scenes. And that's one of my favorite things about Cyberpunk is how you can go from this bombastic run the jewels. You got this crazy, like, you got rap going on, or maybe you got like Cyber Ninja or Patriots, Rebel Path, something just like blasting through your speakers and you're killing dudes. It's crazy. And then you can go from that to meeting up with a character to just look at the city, and it plays like these really ambient tracks that kind of get you to reflect on Night City as a whole and how it affects the humanity of the people that live within it. And you just kind of have those little moments of reflection with these characters as you talk about kind of the little things that go on. The music really adds to those. And
it's huge.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's huge for the vibes, I think, to have that music. And it reminds you, a lot of this music to me, I think, it like reminds you of how oppressive Night City is, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's tough. I don't know. It's a dark reality, you know, Night City. It's not, I don't know. You've got great music, but it does reflect like this feeling that I think that most inhabitants would have, potentially. Or at least the feeling that I want to have as I'm going through the game anyways.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just a perfect fusion of punk rock and electronica, a lot of the tracks. Because, you know, it's cyberpunk. I feel like the tracks do have like that punk feel.
A lot of them really do. Right. I mean, I think like honestly, when I listen to the Johnny Silverhand band, the Samurai stuff, right?
Oh my gosh, I love that stuff.
To me, like Rage Against the Machine, that's who he's supposed to be. Like, for real, that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, honestly, I would love if it were like actually. I love Rage Against the Machine. I absolutely love Rage Against the Machine. And if there had been even more of a leaning into him being Rage Against the Machine, I would love it.
Yeah, I feel like that's such an important piece of the identity of cyberpunk, though, is that grunge punk feel, that for that retro futurism. Because, you know, a lot of the technology in cyberpunk seems to be so like bizarre in the sense that it's not like, from a modern standpoint, right? We have phones. There's no way that anyone in the right mind today is going to get a wire put into their arm. Because we have phones. We're not going to get a physical hardware wire and jack it into something.
Yeah, very intrusive, very dangerous. Like,
yes, and I don't know. There's something about me that really loves that part of this like transhumanist, moral, ethical mode of thinking about these intrusive cybernetic implants. But I feel like that's such an important part of the identity of cyberpunk as a whole, and why the punk really is important to the whole of it. It's having that grunge feel.
Yeah, I agree. It's almost like this. I mean, part of it for me seems like this disregard for like your own well-being is a big part of living in Night City.
Yeah.
You know, and that seems very punk, very, very metal, I guess.
Yeah, metal. That's it.
Which is like, I mean, you've got a lot of that. I feel like you do have kind of like these different genres even within the world, and I don't know, I like it. Like the chromers, whatever, they're like the metal, you know.
Yeah,
that's very interesting. But I agree. I think that there is a vibe, and I don't even know who wrote the original like tabletop game, because that's where all this comes from, right?
Yeah. Mike Pondsmith.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he is still alive. He helped with the game a little bit. I think.
Has he talked about it after the fact? Do you know?
Yeah, I think so. I believe so.
I just want to know whether he likes it or not, whether he thinks it's like a good adaptation.
Because he actually commented on the anime.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Did he say he liked that?
He explained. Oh, yeah. He explained he liked that. Cool. He was a consultant and a cameo as the voice of Maximum Mike, the DJ of 107.3 Moral Rock Radio.
What? He's a voice in the game?
Mm-hmm.
What? That's amazing. Wow.
Do you think Mike Pondsmith is proud of the game? From everything I've read from his posts, he posts every now and then on the Cyberpunk Reddit. I would say yes. He also really enjoyed the anime.
Amazing.
Okay.
That's great. Sounds like
so
a chill
he's
dude.
proud of the game.
I think the writer of The Witcher was a little nasty about, like, with The Witcher 3, if I remember right.
Yeah, and I think that's because they offered him royalties or a figure, and he went with the figure.
And he lost a bunch of money, is it?
He lost a buttload.
I mean, well, that's kind of like the way I've heard him talk about it. That's his own fault for having this utter disregard for the medium of video games as like a valid art form. Like he thinks that even now that it's a huge success. He's like he has said, I believe, and I'm going to paraphrase here because I don't remember the exact quote, but he said like the only reason that The Witcher 3 was such a hit was because of my books. And it's like, okay, that's so silly. Like, yes, it's a big component of the games, but no, that's not what makes them amazing, you know?
Yeah. Agreed.
But so I'm glad to hear that this Mike guy, he seems real chill, and that's awesome. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, he's a chill guy.
And he's made a cool world.
Yeah, he has. I went out and I bought the Cyberpunk tabletop rule book with the intention of reading it, but I still have not.
Yeah, it's like it can be like homework sometimes, the tabletop. I love the tabletop game rule sets, but it can be a lot of work, man.
Yeah, it definitely seems so.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one last thing that I did want to say about the music is I loved how they included it in the anime as well.
I agree.
Like, that puts such an interesting... Like, not only is it set in the same universe, but it's using the same music. And it puts such a spin, just having all the same music in there, making it really feel like it's part of the same world. There's just nothing... I can't say there's anything like that.
It feels like it exists in the same world. I agree. It's the first time I've experienced something like that, and it's great. It definitely did something for me. What a smart move from them to make an anime. Yeah. Like, brilliant. Genius. I don't know who thought of that, but kudos to you, my friend. Whoever did that, great idea.
Great idea.
And great execution. Yep. Because just to say,
truly,
let's make an anime is not necessarily a good idea, but to say let's make an anime and it's really good, yes, great idea.
Yeah, they could have taken it so many different ways too. They could have they could have made it take place in like Tokyo. They could have had a completely unique score. They could have done so much with it, but man, just to stick to their guns,
they did
keep it in the city.
I mean, to me, Edgerunners is in essence a big advertisement for Cyberpunk 2077, but it's great.
Really, truly. That David's Sandevistan. I mean, that was my build. That's literally why I went back into the game, was to try that play style.
I had that feeling as well. Like, I didn't really follow through on it, but I had this feeling of like, well, I basically just want to be David. Like, you know,
yeah,
David's a really cool character. I don't know.
He is a cool.
But character. Yeah, I like that they put the weapons in there. They put the augments that you can get in there. It feels very much part of the world to Edgerunners. Yeah, amazing.
I guess we could pivot back to the story.
Sure.
Act 2. So we talked about Act 1. Gig goes wrong. You get guy in head who kill you. Act 2, you're kind of working with one of the bodyguards from Arasaka Takamura.
Who I will say, I think, is my favorite character, actually, Takamura.
I really like Takamura. He's
I'm glad
funny.
you do. I didn't know whether you would like him or not. I was curious about that.
I like him until the very end. In some of the endings, he's really pissed at you for not helping him. And so he says, "See you in hell." And I'm like, come on, man.
I know that does feel out of character for him, because of like the whole story to me, like the getting like Johnny Silverhand out of your head is like kind of secondary to me over the bromance of V and Takamura. That's the part that I really loved, actually, of the story. And I want there to be more of the bromance of Takamura and V, like, for real.
Did you save him?
Oh, yeah.
After you did? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't save him the first time. I didn't even know you could.
I messed it up the first time, but then I was like, okay, I know you can save him. I am not. I'm going back. I'm doing this mission again. Not leaving. Like, I love Takamura.
And that mission is particularly good. The one where you're like, okay, we got to go and talk to Hanako so we can, talk about how Yorinobu kills Saburo and whatever. I love that, just the atmosphere from the holographic parade with all the fish.
Yeah, no, that is a cool mission.
Super photo-worthy stuff. I just enjoyed watching the floats.
Yeah, no, it was. It did seem like it would be a neat parade.
I took so many screenshots. This is such a pretty game.
It is.
Yeah, I took like 10 different screenshots. I don't even screenshot most of my games, honestly. 12 screenshots.
Wow.
Just from this playthrough. Well, 2 of them were for Kojima references. Hideo Kojima's there. Did you see him?
No.
He's in the he's in the very first mission in the bar.
No way.
Just drinking.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
And then they got a BB pod in one of the Rivers mission with River Ward.
I don't even know what a BB pod is, and when we were with you.
Oh, it's a Death Stranding Kojima thing.
Soka. Yeah, I have it. Death Stranding's on my list. I will play through it eventually, but I haven't played it. Well,
when you do, let me know, because I will revisit that one.
Have you had a podcast about that one yet?
I did one by myself, but I don't like how I banter with myself. I like how I banter with other people.
I feel like that is, I mean, it makes it a lot easier, I think, to do a podcast. Unless you're doing like a murder mystery, it's a lot better, I think, to have like at least one other person.
Yeah, so that podcast is on the original, but I'd like to go through just specifically for the director's cut. Would be enough.
Cool. Yeah.
Anyway,
neat. Well, I'll let you know when I play through it. I have a huge backlog right now.
Oh my gosh. My backlog's like 200. And that's just games I own.
No, for real. I know. It's so hard to resist. Now, here is a modern gamer problem. Have you ever seen that meme? It comes from like Static Shock, the old Kids WB show. You remember that? Or maybe it's the old Batman series. I can't remember. But there's some villain and he gets superpowers. And then there's a scene of him like, I don't know, berating some random person. And then he's like, now I'm off to like liberate the most oppressed group of all. And he starts floating up and he's like, gamers. And then he goes through the window. And I think it's so funny.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's so funny. So the very specific gamer issue is not buying new games when you already have a billion games to play.
Good grave. See, I used to have that problem until I started tracking it on this website, backlogged.com.
Upon your request, or your recommendation rather, I have started using that, and I like it as a tool a lot. Another tool that I use kind of for my backlog, I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's called Play Night. Have you heard of it?
No.
Basically what it is, it's an open source project.
Video game library manager.
Exactly. So it collects all the games from all the different like GOG, Steam, the Epic Games Store, or the Origin. That they have a new name for like the EA Play one, whatever. It gets all the games that exist on your account installed or otherwise, and then it puts them all in one place. It's amazing.
Yeah, I kind of do that with GOG.
Does GOG do
that kind of? They have that kind of functionality.
I'll have to look into them because maybe theirs is even better.
Maybe, yeah. I did have to get a couple of community extensions for like my Amazon Prime. But other than that, it works.
Cool. I'll check it out more. I've never really used GOG, but maybe I should.
Yeah, but backlogged, that's backlogged without the E in backlogged.com. I've been using them. So right now it says I have 236 games in my backlog. And that's just games that I own, not games that are on my wish list. Those are games that I own that I intend to play. 236.
Wow. That's a ton. They're definitely, I feel like I drop a lot from my backlog, or there are games that I'll play for a minute and be like, well, I don't know. Do you feel like you need to finish games when you start them?
Yes.
Really?
So I am very picky and choosy about the ones that I go into.
That you start. See, I will drop. I do this with reading. I do this with everything. My personal philosophy is, if I'm not enjoying it, then why would I continue? I do not care. Even for games that I love. At any point, this is what I did with Cyberpunk as well, right? Like at any point where I think, okay, I've had the fun that I'm going to have, I stop right then. I didn't finish the game all the way. I didn't do the last mission because I was like, well, it's a chore now. I'm done. I've had my fun.
There is a status on Backlogged where you can mark games as abandoned.
I hate to mark. I feel so weird. Like, I don't know when to mark when I've finished a game versus when I've abandoned a game, because I'm finished with it potentially, but like, I also liked it. I didn't like necessarily. I abandoned it, but I also loved my time.
Yeah, my brain philosophy is I need to play it enough so that I can review it.
That makes sense.
Game journalism rot. I have to play it enough to review it.
Yeah.
so I don't move things until I know. If I really don't like it, then I will abandon it. But I usually will try to just complete it.
I think that's a great thing, and I think that it would be wrong for a video game journalist to not finish a game necessarily. Like I see that for sure. So yeah. If I was doing more anything that I was doing video game journalism for, if I was going to, I would definitely finish it. I feel like you have to.
Tangent, I think. Is that a tangent?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, that's all I do. That's what I'm here for, is tangents.
That's right. But yeah, so Act 2. Act 2. Work with Takamura to try and get Johnny out of V's head. It's pretty good.
Yeah, not as good as Act 1.
Not as good. It is very, I think we already said, it's very non-linear, because you can just kind of choose to do these whenever you want, which also contributes to the whole time frame of things not mattering. Like, oh, you only have a week to live. I kind of done I've been in Night City for a month.
I've spent a year in Night City and nothing happened. Yeah.
I guess from a gamer perspective, I spent 100 hours in Night City. That's not quite a week, is it? It's barely a week.
I don't know if how many.
If
hours?
It was real time.
How many hours are in a week? But yeah, 168 hours in a full week. So every hour of the
if
day.
It was real time.
Yes,
and that would actually kind of be an interesting gameplay mechanic, is if it was real time. Every time you booted the game up, it was 1 minute to 1 minute.
It's like that one game that has an achievement where you have to wait in a room for years. Do you know what I'm talking about? For literal years.
Yeah. I think that's the longing.
Is it? Yeah.
I believe is what that game
funny.
is.
It's like a meme of a game, but
yes, the longing.
Yeah.
Point and click adventure. A creature is tasked for watching a sleeping king for 400 days.
400 days. Okay, so a little over a year is what it is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's funny.
That is funny. But, I mean, I still liked Act 2. Act 2, I still was having an absolute blast. And I say that the Act 1 was better, but I mean the main stories, because I feel like I actually had more fun in Act 2 overall.
Yeah, Act 2, I think Act 2 is where you meet Pan Am. Because you capture the scientist Hellman, the guy that worked on the Soul Killer chip in your head. Work with Pan Am to get the chip. Did you romance Pan Am as male V?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I feel like that to me is like the thing, like that's the best ending to me, is like running away with Pan Am or whatever.
Yep, that to me that's the happiest ending.
Exactly. I know there's other ones and whatnot, but that's the one where I'm like, yeah, I just want like V to be happy, and it feels like the thing where that would be where the story should truly go if I were to choose a story for him, you know.
Yeah,
or her.
That's the only ending where the house doesn't win, the city doesn't win.
Yeah,
to me.
Yeah, I like it.
But we can get into that with the endings.
Yeah.
Act 2, you also go to Pacifica with the Voodoo Boys.
I like the Voodoo Boys, and I like Pacifica.
Yeah, so did you help Netwatch take Placide down, or did you help Placide?
I helped Placide. I felt like it was this thing. I really, really liked that part, actually, because it felt like an actual like conundrum where neither one is perfect, right? But this idea, and I loved the Voodoo Boys idea. They have this like decentralized net. They have their own net, and I'm like, hells yes. Like for me, it's like, okay, I know the Voodoo Boys aren't great, but in order for the world to be like a better place in here, something like the Voodoo Boys has to exist. There has to be like this. There's no monopoly necessarily on the net anymore because of the Voodoo Boys, but without them, the corporations have a monopoly on the net, right?
Yep.
And I loved that idea, and so I loved that the Voodoo Boys existed despite them being kind of an issue.
Yeah, and despite them, they backstab you a little bit.
They do. Yeah, they kind of suck, and they're definitely exclusionary. They kind of only help their own and screw everybody else, but you know.
Yeah, so my first playthrough, I helped him. And then I was like, you backstabbed me? So my second playthrough, I helped Netwatch. Totally skipped over like the rest of that. Just straight up kill Placide.
I mean, Placide is like a real asshole, but I like him as a character. He doesn't like you, you know. That's the main thing. He doesn't like you at all, but I kind of like that as well. I don't know. Not every character needs to like the main character necessarily, or even want to help them out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, he was totally using us, but like from his perspective, it doesn't not make sense. I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, you know, and I also kind of felt bad because when they introduce you to him, he's like helping all these little shop owners out. You know,
he's a homie.
He's a homie. He's the big cheese in their little hideout or their little headquarters.
Yeah.
So I killed him, and I was like, man, they're gonna miss him. That's
it's a big
good
part
for everyone else.
Yeah, Pacifica, and the fact that Pacifica, like, they officially like separated it from Night City is like a big move in the right direction in terms of the world for me, right? It's like, just like this moral dilemma that Cyberpunk does a good job of making you think about, in my opinion. I like it. I love Pacifica. I love the Voodoo Boys, and I love that they're doing their own thing, and the only ones, in my opinion, to have any kind of chance against the corporations, sort of thing. Any hope against, like, I don't know, Night City in general, I suppose.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So I loved that part, actually. So forget what I said about Act 1. Act 2 is better.
Act 2. Yeah, Act 2 is really good.
It's really, really good.
And I think it's definitely accented by the excellent gigs and side quests.
True.
Which we've kind of mentioned. We talked, I mean, I guess the Voodoo Boys is a main quest, but like the side quests that you could just totally skip over if you're beelining, I think it would be a shame if you did, because they're like, the bar of quality for these side quests is like, I think it's higher than other RPGs. Some of these, just with the amount of uniqueness they have and their quality. It's like Fallout 3. It could be like, go here and collect some resources. So you collect them. They're like, thanks, here's some money. And then in Cyberpunk, it's like, you go to a person, they talk to you, you go to a place, you could go to an area that you influence in several ways depending on your play style. You go back, you talk to the person, there's a couple different outcomes.
Yeah.
Moral dilemmas.
Yeah, stuff seems like things move forward for characters. Like, I say that I do wish that some of them had more far-reaching implications, but they do have, like, your choices do matter in the side quests, at least for the people that you're interacting with at that time.
Yes. Yeah, and especially with the people who have romance options.
It's true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, very neat. Did you do the racing ones? The car race?
Yeah, the racing ones. Yeah.
I really like that one.
Yeah, I like those. At the very end, did you decide to rig the race?
No, I killed. I can't remember. I just killed the dude. That's what I remember. Like I didn't win the race. I went with what's her face and killed that guy.
Nice. I decided that I wanted to win, so I did.
Go.
She got really angry.
I believe. Yeah.
That one's interesting because it's like, you know, she truly believes that other driver killed her husband. And so she's like, I want you to help me kill this person. And I was like, I don't want to get my hands dirty. That seems like a you problem.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly why I decided to go that route. But that's the route I decided on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about, I think one of my absolute favorite side quests is River Ward's I Fought the Law.
Really? See, that's so interesting to me. I did see this in there. I will say that was one of my least favorite side quests, actually. Maybe it feels different being female V. I don't know. Because like I don't think you can you romance him as a male? There are some characters who have like female preferences, right? And I can't remember if
River Ward prefers female V. I think actually this is the wrong River Ward quest. The actual River Ward quest is not I Fought the Law. It's the one with the kid. He's like,
no, the whole
Randy's gone missing.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, that's the one. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. I'm going to come back to the same Jordanism that I shared earlier in the episode, which is I am almost hyper aware. I hate to be manipulated, and I think that's where this stems from, but I'm almost hyper aware of like, okay, who is the audience that they're targeting with this? And River Wards is like, he's like Edward from Twilight to me, I guess. You know?
He's the pretty boy.
Yeah, well, like, he's like this perfect... He's like, and I hate the standard, truly I hate like the standard picture of a perfect masculine man, you know? And that is River Ward's. Like,
I kind of agree. I agree.
Yeah. So that's where I felt that a lot in there. Additionally, like, it felt weird because it's like, it's this thing where it doesn't change if you're male and female V. So like, he's romancing you the same, but he doesn't actually want to date you as male V. So it's like, why are you doing this, bro? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just this thing where it's like, we should be homies because you don't want to date me, and I know you don't, but whatever.
Yeah, that is funny.
I'm having like same moments of like, oh, he's a family man, this, that, the other. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it does come off a little bit forced. And that part about his quests, I don't like, but I really love the quest where you go looking for one of the kids, the troubled kid, and you end up going into the city to this memory clinic because you have a hunch that there's this unhinged kid, this kid with mental problems that's been targeting other kids and doing the same things to them. So you go to this memory clinic and you're looking at these feeds of dreams, and they're just kind of hazy, and it's just kind of like there's this weird atmosphere of it being like kind of creepy. There is, yeah. Well, like the animations and whatnot that they include in there are like weird and a little unsettling.
Yeah, the unsettling animation of the cow getting like milked by the machine is like really weird. And when you first see it, it's really distorted because it's supposed to be like through the dreams of this psychopath, this murderer that you're supposed to be tracking down.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Brain dance. It's through the brain dance,
the brain
right?
Dance stuff,
of the dream. And so you're like, and brain dance is something every single one of them's unsettling to me, and I think it's because they're all surrounded by darkness when you go into third person camera.
Yeah, it is interesting, and the whole brain dance thing is very interesting, anyways. And I think that they did a great job for it not coming up all that often. I think it's a great side thing. Like, they seem to put a lot of work into the brain dance to make sure that it did work well. So,
yeah, I liked him.
Kudos. Yeah, I agree. I liked him too.
And I thought it worked really good for this quest. But I feel like there was just such there was a different air about the whole quest of it being unsettling, creepy,
a little like gross, a little like, I don't know. It definitely felt like, okay, this is like some real shit in Night City. To me, it was like, damn. I remember walking away from that and being like, ooh, jeez. Like, because the guy's disgusting, and like, I don't know, and the whole thing that he's doing is like, it's very unsettling.
Yeah, because you eventually find his little hideout, and all the kids he's been capturing, he's been treating like cows. He's hooked them up to the milk machines, and he's got all their faces covered in bags. He's pumping chemicals in them and crazy, just absolute madness. And it's just like the lighting is real dim. The music they're playing sets the tone. Like, when I was playing, I vividly remember being like afraid to go around corners and stuff because I thought they were going to jump scare me because the vibes were so different.
They definitely set up vibes like that. It's true. And I think that there is a lot to be said about that quest line for that, is it does feel very different. It's novel to the rest of them. It's not quite so run and gun, whatever, like adventure. It is more like LA Noire kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's just why I really liked it, is because it stands out thematically from everything else. You're not just up against a gang. You're on the streets doing this little detective work.
Yeah, and I appreciate that mystery. Point. I think there's some real merit in having some novelty to the types of missions and the types of feelings that you get as you do different missions. So, that's a good point.
Yeah. And we talked about the other one that I wanted to bring up that you brought up earlier was the Peralez, Mayor Peralez being spied on.
That's a cool one. That's probably one of my favorite side quests.
I love that one. And there's a couple twists in there that I just never expected that just kind of caused me to just sit afterwards and be like, huh.
Yeah, no, it was fun. That was one where I was like, man, I really wish that this quest line would continue, that I could have more, that I could see the results, like we were talking about, I just wanted to see more of the results of my actions.
And that one's interesting too, because they go into like the ethics and morality of the technology in Night City, because I guess we're in spoiler territory.
We have been this whole time.
Yeah, we have been the whole time. But, right, because the mayor's like, hey, I'm being spied on. And so you're like, okay, I'll help you out, because I think you helped him out in a gig before this gig. And so when you help him, boom, turns out there's a secret security office in their house they just didn't even know existed. Turns out they're being brainwashed. But the bigger twist is that they're not being brainwashed by people, but they're being brainwashed by an AI that is controlling the politics in the city. Yeah,
it's trying to get them or him elected rather, so that it can control the political sphere.
Yeah,
vicariously through him and influencing what he thinks
and his fake memories. It's crazy. Did you know that you can find an NPC around that quest that's just called Blue Man?
Whoa, no. What?
The Blue Eyes Man.
What the?
And if you scan a guy in the distance is looking like at you and the mayor at the very end, when you decide to either tell him or not tell him, he's just called the Blue Eyes Man.
Spooky. Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's crazy. It's cool.
Huh. What did you do?
The first time I decided to tell him, and exactly as his wife put it, he went pretty delirious, and he went kind of crazy. He was very paranoid about everybody and everything.
Which is fair.
But the second time I didn't tell him.
Really? I only did that quest one time, but I did tell him. And I don't regret the decision to tell him. I would do it again.
Yeah, I think that's probably the better way to do it.
Whether he reacts or not, it's the only opportunity that he has to be human, I feel like. Once again, thinking of the ethics, I mean, I'm very much of the opinion, like, you just do what you want to do in a video game. Do whatever seems the most fun. It's not like I think he ought to be... I do trend towards, like, hero play often,
Same.
I don't know. I don't think that there's anything wrong with playing the villain. And every once in a while, for fun, I try to do a villain run kind of thing.
Yeah, or make a choice that greatly benefits you.
Yeah. Or just just be an asshole to somebody, just, I don't know, for the heck of it, because it's a game.
Any other missions that you wanted to bring up?
No, I think I'm good.
I do want to do some honorable mentions. I think the Delamain quests were really fun.
I agree.
I especially liked the GLaDOS cameo.
Yeah,
that was funny.
That was funny. I agree. It's fun to see.
But also Skippy.
Skippy,
you find Skippy in the alley.
Interesting. What did you pick as his setting for the gun?
Headshots.
I did too. And then he gets like he thinks like you're a psychopath after you kill so many people or whatever, and he's like, all right, I'm done. Like, did you return him to his original owner?
Yeah, and I was disappointed because she was like, all right, I'm just gonna reset him, and she just was like, beep, beep, and it's like, what is my name? And like, not Skippy. Like, oh, okay.
I thought it was funny, honestly, and I liked it because it was kind of this thing of like, I love the theme of I guess nothing mattering, I guess. And it very much had that kind of theme, and so I'm into it.
True. I'm into sentient objects into weapons. That's a favorite trope of mine. Destiny 2 has a lot of those where you turn these unkillable gods into weapons that you never use again, and I think that's really funny.
That is funny. Interesting.
But yeah, Skippy, sentient weapon, I think that's just such a funny...
okay, so then this, like, disregarding the recent unfortunate news about Justin Roiland or whatever his name is, that game of his, you know what I'm talking about?
High on Life. Yeah.
What are you gonna play that one? You that seems right up your alley if that's the case, right?
I'm not but the problem with that one is that's only that's the gimmick of the whole thing. I like when it's just like every once in a while there's a little sentient gun. I'm also not really like a big Justin Roiland humor fan.
Yeah, I feel the same. Now don't get me wrong. I love Rick and Morty. I think it's great, but I do think that it's the pairing of him and Dan Harmon. Dan Harmon's his name. I think that them together, they make a good pair. Not anymore though, and good enough. Like, I'm sad more that Justin Roiland did asshole-ish things than that he's gone after that point. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. That's like a whole nother conversation.
Indeed. The last honorable mention I wanted to get in here was, so the Cyber Psycho quests. I think something I wanted to mention for sure is one of my peeves with this game as a person who suffers from OCD. There's a lot of shards, like books to read, but it never marks them off if you've already read them.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible. I struggle with that kind of thing.
And I want to immerse myself by reading every single one. That's my other issue, is I want to read all of them, like absolutely all of them. And so when the game's like, hey, read this, and I like get halfway through and I'm like, I've read this already. I already know about the Fourth Corporate War. I already know about this. Yeah. But and I think also there is a ton of stuff to read in those text boxes. Tons. Okay. Every single scanner gig, you know exactly why somebody committed a crime because there is a log of text messages from person A to person B, and you know everything. And there's a point in my brain where I'm like, I wish there wasn't so many of them because I want to just read the ones that matter. I think it's kind of interesting from a game perspective. It almost feels like, hey, every character lives in this world, but at the same time, as a player, I just want stuff that's going to be worth my time as like from a lore perspective. I don't need to know why somebody robbed the grocery store.
I agree. There is a little bit too much to read. I read more in Cyberpunk than I think I've read in any other game in terms of like the logs and whatever exists, like the side content. But you do feel some of that when different characters have like the same logs over and over, and you see them over and over again. It does start to break that feeling of like, okay, everybody exists in this world independently and they're all unique, you know.
Yeah.
And in addition, I feel like a lot of it is sort of like throwaway content. Some of it matters, and I like stuff that kind of like comes up. If you know about it, then you get this like little extra, you know, reward sort of throughout the story. But most of the time, it's nothing like that. It's something that I'll forget about, I don't know, an hour later.
Yeah. It stops being an immersive reward to my curiosity, and it becomes more of like I don't care.
Yeah, that's what happened to me with the Cyber Psychos. In the end, I read the initial ones, and then I think like after a number, I just stopped. It's like it's basically all the same. Like,
yeah, and those are the ones that I feel like really matter as far as some of the like notes, because like you can go in there guns a-blazing and you can kill them, and you could just be like, hey, look, I killed this person. But if you don't kill them, usually what'll happen is that lady, I forget her name, she'll tell you, hey, this is why this person went cyber psycho, we think, so we're going to detain them and try and figure it out. And it's usually really sad.
Yeah, it's usually like mental health issues, essentially, is like all the cyber psychos in this, which is like, it's a little weird. I mean, I don't know exactly how I feel about that necessarily, because I know that that's like a common thing, and maybe it's like a build empathy for mental issues, but a lot of the times in media, like for example schizophrenia is a real condition, right, that people actually like experience and need medication for and need like doctoring, whatever, and they're like normal people. They can function like normal people, but in media they are always psychopathic, like killers basically, you know.
Yeah,
like always.
Every time.
Yeah, and it's like, well, that's not the reality, and that's unfortunate for anybody who actually goes through that in real life, you know, that's their only representation.
Yeah, truly.
So, you know,
I vibe with that. I see
that. Yeah. But you know, but I get it as well, and I fall into those same things anyways. I will say that the most interesting Cyber Psycho one, and the one that I did actually read even after stopping, like, because most of them were basically like, oh, he was upset about the government or his wife or something, was most of the trauma.
Yep.
But the one that was interesting was like they're like filming a show, and it was like this it was like a soap opera kind of mix up sort of thing, where like the sister had taken the place of the movie star and like
her twin,
and had messed up the other twin's life and was like trying to steal her life. That was an interesting one, I feel like.
Yeah, that one was funny.
No.
There's some good stories in there.
There are.
It's kind of bogged down by how many mess stories there are in the text logs.
I agree.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, but you know, can't all be winners. And if they had nailed it with every single like bit of writing and story and narrative in there, that's a monumental task.
Indeed. So I think before we get into Act 3, I wanted to get into gameplay. We probably could talk about some gameplay stuff. Something I realized on my second playthrough, I like to play games all the same. I was playing the game exactly the same way as I was playing the first time. So like around level 10, I was like, oh, this is the same. I'm going to probably get bored if I keep doing this or something. So I actually switched to be Street Brawler.
That's cool.
And eventually I found optical camo, and then I installed a Sandevistan. So my play style was I would go to an area, I would use optical camo and then my Sandevistan, and then the optical camo timer is linked to the real world time. So when I use my Sandevistan, I'm invisible the entire time.
The whole time? So oh my gosh.
So I could do like a police scanner hustle, completely invisible in like 10 seconds.
Wow. That's actually awesome. I love that. Huh.
Yeah, it was really cool. Some of the bigger gigs too, like if there's a gig where it's like, hey, I need you to get this information. Invisible, Sandevistan, I'd jump up to the floor, I would download the info, I would be out of there without killing anybody or doing anything.
Oh,
if I wanted to.
that's amazing.
So when I was going through trying to rush to the ending, and I wanted to see, because they added a couple new gigs since I first played the game, and so I was like, I want to see those stories, but I don't necessarily know when that'll be, because the other thing they've included since launch is they gate off some of the gigs until you beat the earlier gigs, which I don't really like that as much, but anyway. So to get some of the other gigs done, I would do that. I just invisible, Sandevistan. I would run into an area, kill a guy, or get the data or whatever, and just leave.
Amazing.
It would be done in like a minute.
Wow, that's actually awesome. I love that. My first run through, I did a guns blazing sort of playthrough, right? Which I didn't beat it. I didn't get that far, but that was the strat. And then the second time I started doing the same thing where I was like, okay, I'm building the exact same way. I did the exact same thing. I bet it's a very common occurrence. But then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to focus on a little more stealth because I never really did that the first time. And it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. One of my favorite things about the stealth, and I never knew this was a thing until my second playthrough, but knives, you can start throwing knives if you invest in the stealth tree.
Yep, and they boomerang.
Is it? Yeah, like, exactly. Yeah, like there's a skill where like if you land a headshot with a thrown knife, then you have it again.
That was the play style I wish I did, because it seems so fun.
That is what it did. It was really fun. But the truth is as well that like once you start, you put a silencer on a like a good gun, and then like throwing knives become irrelevant, which is the unfortunate bit of that build. Where it's like, well, I just have this pistol that I just headshot with a silencer, and I get like bonuses for having these things in the stealth tree. So that's how I would clear police scanners, is mostly just in stealth, and I would just like headshot everybody with a silenced weapon, and yeah, that's it. But
that was my first playthrough. Yep.
Really, I actually did switch a little bit, and this is where I think that the level cap is dumb, because I switched a little bit to tech weapons. And just getting massive through the walls. I started like having these amazing tech weapons that would just shoot through walls, and I would just destroy everybody. And it felt so good. It's so fun. And so that's where it's like, okay, yeah, I get like leaning into a build, I guess, but I want to be able to switch. I don't want to have to go through the whole game again just so I can try out a new playstyle. I want to be able to switch on the fly as I'm playing the game. I mean, I think that the problem is that there's not enough content to allow for that either. Like, in order to actually have something to use it for, you need to restart from the beginning, because there's no procedurally generated content or random encounters or anything like that.
And that's why I wish there was New Game Plus.
Yeah, New Game Plus. That makes a lot of sense. Why not?
And I get that there's a lot of technical challenges with that. You have to, from the beginning, pretty much plan your game out so that you can alter all the numbers of everybody's health and armor and everything from the beginning to like scale with your character, your player's character.
But I think that they do have that capability, because the mod leans into that capability already, where characters are, or like NPCs are leveling up according to your level, right?
Yeah.
So they already have that functionality. But like, to make bullet sponges is the thing I think that you want to avoid, right? Like, that's just not fun.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
no, I love that style of play. That's what you're describing is exactly what happened to me my first playthrough. I learned that you can get buku damage with a silenced revolver. I was doing like 20k damage.
Oh yeah.
And then exactly the same thing. I found a tech weapon. I would ping a network, and then it would show me outlines of everybody to wall. So you'd wall hack everybody, and then you just wall bang people with a silenced tech. And I would just sit in a little closet and just like aimbot more or less and kill everybody.
I had that tech rifle that's like the double tap thing where it like shoots 2 shots or whatever. That's the one I was using.
Oh, yep.
And it was amazing. It had one shot like everybody. And I didn't even silence it. I just went ham. I just stopped
full
doing
bore.
Yeah.
I think that's the Widowmaker. It's one of my favorite tech weapons. Okay. It's a pretty much shoots all 6 shots of a revolver out of the barrel.
Oh no way.
On charge up. It's an iconic.
Was that a Rivers weapon?
It's a craftable iconic weapon. Yeah, it was. It's a really fun one. It's like It's a chargeable sniper. The tech snipers are really cool too.
Yeah, no, that's what I was using, like essentially a tech sniper, but
And that, I think if I had started the game with that playstyle, I think I would have got bored. But because I found that later in my first playthrough, like I can just wall hack people and just like sit here and kill them all.
Yeah,
It makes you feel really godly, really powerful.
Agree. It feels really good. It wouldn't necessarily feel good the whole time. And there is something to be said about once you find the optimal play, it's hard for your brain to want to move to anything else. So
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, the throwing knives, them adding the throwing knives was huge for me. That is such a good, like, I really love that type of skill tree where like it opens up more to you, you know, like more capabilities. But once again, my hugest gripe with this game is that you're barred out of that if you don't happen to go for the stealth tree, and you might miss it completely that you can even do that.
Yeah.
You know, there's like these things that are unlocked for you, these new gameplay elements that you can interact with if you go down a certain tree, but you can't do it unless you play through the game multiple times and do multiple different builds. And I don't know.
Yeah, that is quite. It's a drawback.
Yeah, that seems to be the theme of my review. Is like I would probably have I honestly probably would have rated it a masterpiece if there wasn't the level cap. The level cap is the biggest thing holding the gameplay back, in my opinion.
Yeah, I am right there with you.
Yeah,
that is no fun. And the other thing is, okay, so I've tried stealth, I've tried a brawler with stealth, but there's the other playstyle that I never got to really experience is doing a no guns net runner.
Oh wow, yeah, that'd be very interesting.
That's one that I want to do. And the knives, like being a swordsman, all that sounds really fun.
I forgot about that. I did do swordsman play. I'd never done any melee play, but this time I did the swords, and the swords were actually so fun.
Swords feel so cool. I also have to mention the animations are really fun. You whip the sword out, and you got like your two fingers on the sword blade.
You do like very anime influenced. Let's be real,
super anime.
So much media that we have today, modern media, is so influenced by anime. Almost nothing isn't now.
Oh, truly. If you deny it, you are a non-believer.
It's true. If you deny it, I think you just haven't watched any anime, honestly.
Indeed. Yeah.
But it's just very clear, the influences, I feel like. And I mean, even since Astro Boy, anime has had influences on people, but you know.
Indeed. No, I love even the few times I did use the katanas. It's very fun.
Very, very fun. Yeah.
Blunt weapons, not as fun.
No, they don't feel as fun. I agree. Yeah.
But the fists were cool.
Like the gorilla fists?
Yeah, I had the gorilla fists.
I used those too, even though I wasn't a brawler at all. I would actually just use those on the Cyber Psychos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting ways that you can play, but it's such a shame that you can't do it all with one character.
Yep.
There is, and I will point out just for the audience, there is a you can reset your perks, but that just resets your perks within the trees. You can't like reassign level up points anywhere, which I
once you've gone down a path, you can't ungo down that path.
yeah, because when I got to level 10, and then I was like, oh, I don't want to play like I did in my other playthrough. I went and I used my money to reset my perks and stuff, but it just doesn't reset your skill points.
Yep. You still have to invest in essentially the same perks. There's almost no point.
Yeah, so you have to go down the same trees even if you reset all of your perk points, which is such a downer.
Silly. Yeah.
Mods, they fix many things.
Yep. You gotta just mod it. It's the truth. And it's not like optimized. It would be even better if they had thought about that from the beginning so they could optimize it so that there's always something that you can do with your new abilities. But even still, the mod is worth it.
Even something as simple as like a wave, like a horde.
Exactly.
Where you just kill hordes of dudes. And I feel like, and when I was hearing about the marketing of Cyberpunk, I thought that once you, and this is like not even real, but the way it was marketed is the Badlands made it sound like after you went outside of the boundaries of the city, you would start being tracked by higher and higher tier enemies. And so I kind of thought there would be a horde mode in the game. If you just tried to escape the city, they would just keep sending dudes at you, which would be cool.
Stuff like that would be interesting. Yeah, I'm saying, like I want them to blend it a little bit with Shadow of Mordor, and I think it would be perfect. It'd be amazing.
Yes, a little bit of endless stuff. We go a long way.
Yeah, I really hope that they have something like that for endgame content in the new expansion. But I don't want to get on the hype train, and I don't even know. I'm speculating with no information anyways, and it's not even a speculation, it's just a hope, and I have no reason to hope for it.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. That's what I hope for regardless.
Truly. It makes me wonder, like, what Phantom Liberty is going to be.
I'm very curious.
Because I can only imagine if there's no new game plus, then are they going to expect us to use our old characters? Are they going to give players an option to start from the beginning of Phantom Liberty with a character who's kind of like ready for that content? Like, where will this content take place? How is it going to augment the rest of the game experience? Is it going to have implications on the ending? I don't know.
Yeah, is it going to take place before the end or after the end? Have they said anything about that?
I don't think so.
Because that's kind of interesting. It's got to happen before the end, I imagine, but who knows?
Yeah, because Johnny's there.
Is it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it would have to be a little before the end. Who knows?
I'm very curious. I hope it's good.
I do hope it's good.
If there's one thing that we've learned from Cyberpunk, it's to be careful about hype trains.
Indeed.
Manage your hype. So,
Speaking about endings, we can go over those.
Yeah, jump right in.
Maybe we go with the worst ones. I definitely think the worst one is siding with Arasaka and Takamura.
I don't even know what really happens in that one, honestly.
I will tell you. So you go to Hanako at Embers. She's like, why don't you let me bring you to the meeting and you can testify that you saw Yorinobu killing my father, Saburo. And then we will use I'll use my newfound power at Arasaka to help you get the chip out of your head and blah, 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 whatever. And then you're like, oh, I'll think about it. And then you go to the rooftops and then you're there thinking about all the endings or all the potential people that can help you. So you decide, I'm going to go with Arasaka. And then Johnny's like, you're a dick, V. And then you take the Omega blockers and you pretty much, it's a pretty boring ending. You go in with Hanako. You get up at the meeting and you're like, I saw Yorinobu kill. Oh, actually, it goes a little crazier than that. You go with Hanako to Saburo's office, and there's an elevator in his old office that takes you down to Mikoshi, okay? The soul killer place. And a engram of Saburo appears, and he's like, so this is V. And you're like,
what?
Yeah, so apparently...
So he was uploaded already, is it?
Saburo's been he's pretty much been auto-saving his conscious to Soul Killer.
I guess why not? That was his goal anyways, was like immortality, wasn't it?
Exactly. So Hanako this whole time has been corroborating with Saburo. What? Everything that she has done in the story has been because she has consulted with Saburo first as an engram.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and that's just something I didn't even know before, so...
Yeah.
Kind of blew my mind.
Wow, I had no idea about
that he was there.
Huh.
And so what happens is you're like, okay, Saburo's here, and he's like, yeah, I could see that Yorinobu could have killed me. That's totally logical.
Huh.
I already believed that from the beginning. And that's kind of what Hanako tells you, is even the board members kind of believed that from the beginning. They were just kind of taking some hard copium that it was poison from somewhere else.
Huh.
But I guess they kind of already suspected Yorinobu. So anyway, you go to this meeting and you're like, I saw it happen. And then they're like, oh, this is preposterous. And then Hanako's like, take a look at this. And she puts out the engram of Saburo, and he's like, I'm Saburo, and I approve this message. And then everyone's like, this is a cheap trick.
Oh, okay.
This is a cheap trick. And then he points to one of the board members, and he's like, you have a weak heart and a tiny penis, is more or less what he says.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's like, you have a weak will and a tiny dick. And he's like, it's him. Oh my gosh, it's him.
He used to say that all the time.
Yeah. So there's no way it's not him. And so everyone's like, oh. And then he's like, Yorinobu must be kicked out of Arasaka. He's a traitor and he has not dealt honor to the family. Anyway,
stinks.
But at that moment, Yorinobu had a bunch of his legion, his followers, and they storm that meeting. They kill a bunch of the board members, and so there's a firefight from there. And this actually takes place on like the 73rd floor or whatever, with all the forest and the trees. Same space. They reuse that same space in all of the endings.
Wow.
And so you firefight your way to an elevator with Hanako. You go down, you find Yorinobu at the Mikoshi level, or almost at the Mikoshi level. He's a couple of levels down. And Hanako's like, go in the elevator with Hellman and we'll get you the help that you need. And so you don't actually connect with Mikoshi. And the next part, you wake up and you're in, or V wakes up, and kind of first person but V wakes up in this medical facility. They're like, you're awake, wow. And they're like, you're not going to be quite the same as you used to be. The neural pathways are this and that, and just a bunch of technical jargon. But you're the camera, the perspective, the color grading is all off. It's just like completely out of whack.
Huh.
And it takes like 30 minutes to complete this ending where they just keep having you do these tests. And they're like, here's a Rubik's Cube. Do the Rubik's Cube. And you like try and do the Rubik's Cube. You can't do the Rubik's Cube. And you keep, and they like tell you to get on the treadmill, and you start running on the treadmill. And all while this is happening, V is having nightmares about Jackie and about Johnny. And you can still kind of hear Johnny's voice, like speaking to you
or something.
Yeah. And then it turns out you're on a orbital satellite in space. And just nothing is right. Everything is kind of wrong still. Turns out Saburo's construct was overwritten onto Yorinobu.
Whoa, what?
And so Saburo is back in Yorinobu's body.
So he's just running the company as Yorinobu?
Yep. And he told the media and everyone. So everyone knows that Yorinobu is now Saburo. And so the media is having a field day with all this information about like immortality and like the implications of overriding a person's conscious onto someone else and everything. I also talked with so I romanced Judy, female V. That was, and you can talk to your romance option up in space, and it's really sad.
Oh no, that is sad.
Like, and they're like, I wish you'd come back. I'm leaving the city, blah, blah, blah.
Man.
I wish things were different. And yeah, just nothing is the same. And eventually Takamura comes in and he's like, listen, man, it's not working. You're dying. You have 3 months to live.
Oh.
I think it's 3 months, but it's like less than 6 months, which is the baseline for the other endings. If you choose to live out as a V,
you get 6 months.
They give you 6 months. Yeah, but in this one it's 3. So yeah, it's just spooky, and it's just so it's super sad. You do get a kill smasher with Takamura.
That's cool.
That's kind of fun.
That is fun,
but. Yeah. Also, and here's the other option, is they're like, listen, the tests aren't working. You can either live for 6 or less than 6 months, or you can become an engram in Mikoshi, be a soul killer.
Huh. Weird. So like, be Johnny basically in that.
Mm-hmm. You have the option to leave your body and be an engram forever, or to live your life on Earth for a couple of months until you die.
Weird. I'd probably pick engram in that situation, but I wouldn't pick engram normally.
Yeah, it's just not a good ending.
No. Unfortunate, but it is interesting. I like getting this, I don't know, the run through of the ending from you. It's neat.
Yeah, it is neat. So if you choose Rogue, you take the pseudotrizine or whatever, and so Johnny takes over V's body, and so you're Johnny for the remainder of the game. You meet up with Rogue. You get a pilot for a little flying vehicle, and you, as Johnny, Rogue, and this pilot go through Arasaka. You pretty much storm their tower. You make your way down into the basement sublevels where Mikoshi is, where the Soul Killer Project is. And along the way, a Smasher arrives, kills Rogue. Mm-hmm. Unless you get the secret ending, in which you go in the same, and pretty much the same as. Actually, the secret ending isn't the same. The secret ending is you go in through the front door solo, and you do everything by yourself, and that's the ending where nobody dies, but you can get the same result of being you or Johnny at the end.
Wait, that's what happens in this version completely?
Yeah, I'll get to that, I guess.
Okay.
But you go in with Rogue and this pilot, storm the base, go down the basement, Smasher's there. Doesn't kill. Rogue decides to do suicide, so she has a grenade and she shoves it in Smasher's face. And then she explodes from the grenade, and damages Smasher a little bit. So then you, as Johnny, and the pilot kill Smasher. Alt Cunningham, there it is. The name came to me.
That's
so
right.
then you help Alt take over Arasaka Tower by slotting a shard into their network, and she takes over all of the robotic security systems and the turrets and everything. And she even starts frying the minds of people connected to the subnet. So you'll see people with their eyes and their mouths flaming.
Well, that doesn't seem great. That seems like the thing.
Yeah. She just fries everyone, kills everyone, all the way to Mikoshi. So you have a straight shot to get there. It's crazy. Yeah, then Smasher. And then you connect to Soul Killer Mikoshi, where you, as Johnny, you see V, and you and V kind of have a little chat about how it all went. And Johnny's like, I made it, blah, blah, blah. And then Alt is like, I've already separated you two, whatever. And then V, at that point, will be like, Alt told me already I'm an engram. Which means, is kind of weird to think about, because I guess the way that it had to work is, Alt erased the conscious off of the brain in V's body, and created a construct of Johnny and of V. So, I guess this is kind of a Ship of Theseus situation.
Yeah, replacing all the boards.
Yeah, because the conscious that used to be the original conscious in the body of V was just copied into an engram.
So it's basically the same as doing the other version where you become an engram forever.
Yeah. But at this point, Alt is like, listen, Johnny, this body, the DNA and everything, it's ready to accept you. If you want, you can keep it at this point. And V will just have to live it out. But if V goes into the body, it will reject her/him, and they'll have 6 months to live. And so V and Johnny kind of talk about if if you go, then you'll get to live out the lifespan of my body, or if, I don't think I should go, I should be with Alt. I was an intruder in the first place, whatever. So if you decide to go home as V, or give V the body as Johnny, so V will go back and become the new queen of the afterlife, more or less. You won't exactly have a good relationship with your love interest. They'll actually be kind of mad with you, and that's because you've chosen to do one last gig, and that is to heist the orbital casino space station.
Okay. More space ending.
And allegedly, the expansion was supposed to be that heist. That was supposed to be the ending. So the expansion was supposed to be you as V heisting that orbital casino.
What the?
But they decided to not go with that expansion, or it was scrapped.
I wouldn't want that, honestly, personally.
Yeah?
Not me, no. I just want more Night City stuff. I don't want to go to space.
It feels kind of shoehorned too, because the V's reasoning is like, oh, I'm going to be the best this city ever had. I'm doing it for Johnny. And I'm like, but you have a love interest here.
And you only got 6 months. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
You got 6 months. You've already got enough money to do whatever you want. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just silly.
We haven't talked or seen Jackie for like in-game month.
Yeah.
Years even, maybe.
And I think that even in that first heist with Jackie, you kind of talked about like getting out of the scene as like with the money.
Yeah, exactly. So like, it just seems
what's
weird.
The point? You're already out.
I would have loved being in space, but just narratively and thematically, it didn't seem like it'd work.
I don't know. I'm always like, anything that happens in space, anytime a game tries to go to space, for me, I'm like, no, please no. Personally.
Oh.
But
I'm the opposite
really,
way. I'm like, so yes. I like zero gravity. I like that's just my sci-fi.
Did you play Borderlands?
Yeah.
Did you play the pre-sequel?
No.
It was bad. And it was in space. And that was half the reason it was bad.
All I know about Borderlands is I need friends to play and enjoy it.
Oh, really? Oh, fair
Every
enough.
time I get into Borderlands, I'll get like to a certain point, and I bought 3 with the intention of playing with a group of friends, and I've made it like 10 hours in, and I just can't. I'm not enjoying myself when I play it by myself.
Fair enough. 3's alright. 2 is really where it's at, but
yeah, 2 is kind of where it is.
Yeah, 2 was the best it's ever been, and they've never quite reached that point again, I think. But oh well. Yeah. Anyways, though, Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. That ending where you go to the space station, though, I think that's my second favorite.
I honestly feel like from that description, I prefer the Takamura one, honestly.
Oh, really?
Just from what I know. Yeah, I don't know. It seems a little more interesting. Like, I don't know. That one, and also, like, yeah, like, Saburo's, like, leading the company, but at least there's not a rogue AI loose on the net frying everybody's brain. Like, that seems like a worse reality.
That is an implication that I failed to consider.
Yeah, like, she's obviously willing to kill people. Like, I don't know, fry people for being associated with something. That seems a little tyrannical, but whatever.
The other thing that happens, though, is every engram that Arasaka has is absorbed into Alt.
Oh, weird.
Into the AI. So she absorbs all of their data. So when you, as V, take the body, Johnny goes and gets integrated with Alt as a part of the AI.
Whoa, okay.
Because they're all, an engram is just data. So she just kind of adds that to her machine learning. Collects it, adds it to her data set, more or less.
Well, that's interesting.
Really, that's one of those conundrums. AI is a conundrum of cyberpunk settings and worlds that I just enjoy thinking about. It's just such a weird little concept that my brain likes to run wild with.
I like to. I enjoy it as well, and it's pretty topical right now, isn't it?
So, Indeed. Yeah.
Have you used any of the chatbots, like ChatGPT or whatever?
Yeah, I've used a couple.
I love it. Yeah, no, I actually use it all the time for game development stuff. It's really, really handy.
It's cool stuff.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that. So the integration is important because that happens in either ending. So if Johnny chooses to take V's body, because it's ultimately his decision in this scenario. If you make it to Mikoshi as Johnny, it's Johnny's decision.
I see.
But if you go with the Aldecaldos as V, then it's V's decision. It's just whoever has control of the body when they connect.
I see.
If Johnny lets V have her body, then he'll go and be absorbed with Alt. But V will get absorbed with Alt if he takes the body. And in that ending, I find that ending to be one of the saddest of the endings, because Rogue is dead, and then V is dead. But not only is V dead, Johnny wears his or her face for the rest of his life, more or less. So he's constantly reminded.
Yeah.
By by that, not just face but entire body.
Right.
And the sad thing in that one is you wake up, or the game puts you at a point in Johnny's life where he's been living in an apartment for a while, and you can go through the text messages from people connected to V, because it's still V's number.
Right.
It's all of V's cyberware. And so you've been getting texts from your love interest, from Vic, from Jackie's mom. There's 20 messages for you to scroll through, just like, where are you? Are you coming back? Please tell me you're okay. There's
man. And
then in the game end credits, there's a bunch of video voicemails of people worried about where V is and what happened. And Johnny, he goes out and he goes to that graveyard out there in Haywood, and he buys a couple of grave boxes for Rogue's gun, one for Rogue's gun and one for the necklace with the bullet on it.
Oh.
So he makes a spot for V and Rogue.
And
then he buys this aspiring kid a guitar.
Huh.
And then he leaves the city by himself.
Wow, that is sad.
Yeah, and it's playing The Sacred and the Profane, that track, which is just a really somber track just the whole time.
Man. Yeah, no, that is sad. Yeah. That's a sad ending.
It's kind of depressing.
They're all sad.
They're all sad. The city always wins, man. The city always wins, except for the Aldecaldos, honestly. This one's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
This is my favorite ending that I personally would pick as canon, if I had to say. So, if you go with Aldecaldos, you take the Omega blockers, and you're like, listen, Pan Am. She's like, what? It's 3 a.m. And you're like, listen, I need help. And they're like, okay. So you go to all the Aldecaldos, and they're like, what's up? And you're like, I need to get into Arasaka. It's a sub-level. There's this really secret thing they don't want anyone to have. And they're like, are you crazy? And you're like, yeah. And then they're like, okay, we'll help you. And you're like, this is a suicide mission. And then they're like, yeah, we like you. We don't care. And they actually inaugurate V as a member of the Aldecaldos. So you become a member, you get a jacket. It's a really special moment for you. And then you kind of start planning, and Saul is there, and Saul is like, hey, so we can go down to this. Militech has a drilling operation here, but what they don't realize is their drill they've been drilling, if we just kept it going on the same course, we would end up at Mikoshi. So you are like, okay, well, let's storm that place. You got the Basilisk tank, or whatever it is, the tank, from one of the earlier missions with Pan Am. You hop in there, you go storm this mining operation. It kind of goes a little funky. And 2 people die that I don't even remember. It's Teddy and Bob. I don't even remember Teddy or Bob.
Me neither.
So I was like, okay, sorry about them, I guess.
Random.
But we made it. Anyway, there's some problems with the tank because there's just a lot of oppression at the area you're going through. You're killing all these Militech guys. You start up the mining rig and it just starts drilling underneath Night City. There's a point where you think that Pan Am has died because once you hit Arasaka Tower, it kind of jams up the mining thing.
Oh.
And it just starts falling apart. And so you're like, Pan Am, you're dead. And then she's not dead.
Oh, that's great.
And then Saul is like, we made it to Arasaka. And you're like, okay. And so you go in there. Oh, yeah. And then before this, you were being helped by Alt. You contacted Alt and you're like, can you help us with this? And she's like, yeah, I can do that.
Sure.
And you're like, cool. She also helps in the Johnny version, but she brings down a satellite to interrupt the communications inside Arasaka. But in this one, she helps by, I think, turning off, doing something. I don't even remember.
Something helpful.
Something helpful, yeah. But she agrees to split you and Johnny, I think is the important part. But yeah, the takeover is actually pretty smooth, honestly. You go in there and then Smasher confronts you. You find Smasher. He curb stomps Saul's head into spaghetti.
Oh, God.
It's just over for him. So I beat him to a pulp as well. That was cool.
That Sandevistan style in it.
Dude, yep, Sandevistan, baby. With my opto camo, he couldn't see me. Opto camo was
awesome.
Excellent. The Sandevistan.
You're like Jiren from Dragon Ball Super, if you've ever seen that.
Oh, no.
That's okay.
But I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, you don't need to watch it if you don't want to. It's fine.
After that, you make it to Mikoshi, connect to it, and then Alt's like, hey, V, you're an engram. And then you're like,
oh, shit.
I'm not even my original, conscious. It's just kind of like a weird existential, moment for V. Because in the Johnny ending, that realization's come and gone. But in this one, you kind of live it firsthand. V is like, I'm an engram. I'm a copy of my original conscious. My body's just sitting there dead, more or less. And then Alt's like, yeah, if you take your body back, you got 6 months to live, but Johnny would live the lifetime. And so you got a choice to do the Johnny ending or not.
And if you live as V in this one, you'll go out with your love interest. Their Pan Am, is it?
Yes. Yeah, you go out with this one as V. You wake up and Pan Am's like, you ready to leave the city? And you're like, I never thought I would, but I'm ready to leave the city. And so you hop into Pan Am's truck and you drive out to this meeting point with all the Caldos. And they're like, we got a surprise for you. And the surprise is your love interest. And you and your love interest will talk about leaving the city and, how a new beginning is starting and all that, fluffy happy stuff.
For 6 months anyways,
huh? Yeah, for 6 months. But the Aldecaldos are like, we know a guy that might be able to help out. So there's kind of some hope on the horizon.
Oh, well, good. That does make it the best. Because, I'm like, for 6 months, I don't know. 6 months is so short. And I don't know. It's weird. To me, you live as an engram no matter what, right?
Yep.
So, the best option potentially is to live in Mirakoshi forever.
Yeah.
That's the only option where you get to continue living, right? It's all the same.
Yeah.
You're an engram in every single one of those situations. So it's not like it's different in that regard.
Yeah, in every situation, your conscious, as you know it, dies at Mikoshi.
Yeah, you're like a clone essentially. So like, it's no different than just being in Mikoshi, right? Additionally, Johnny's an engram in the first place, so there's no option where you don't get to live, where you get to live as a natural human being, you know, that's not a copy of Data, you know?
Yeah. Because even in the ending where you try that option, you're dead in 3 months.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like,
or
you get
go
less
to
time.
Mikoshi. Yeah.
Yeah, even in that. So, like, I mean, that's the only one where you get to live any amount of time as yourself.
Yep.
So that's interesting. You could spin that as like the only one that's worthwhile, you know. But yeah, I don't know. Like, that's so interesting. I still think the Aldecados one is the best because it gives you a little hope of like being able to continue. But you're not yourself anyways. You're just a copy, and that's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. But for those around you, they don't even notice.
Yeah, and neither would you, honestly, because you died. So it's like, you know.
Yeah.
That original consciousness can't think or feel anyway. So yeah, you'd be a new person, but it'd be like being teleported into somebody else's. Like right now, if we were to switch consciousnesses, right? Like I become you become me. If we had all the same memories, all the same physiology and whatnot, then it could have already happened. It could have happened this episode, and we never would have known.
Yep, exactly.
So yeah, it's like it's kind of like that, but it's like, but you're still, you know, the implications that are weird.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about. Just another one of those sci-fi conundrums I enjoyed thinking about.
Yeah, Cyberpunk is good about making you think about some stuff. I love it.
Yeah, and before this ending happens completely, and you roll credits, you actually get to drive the tank one more time.
No way.
And you drive the tank out, and you get a look at the moon. You put it on autopilot, and you look at the moon, and then the credits roll.
Huh.
It's kind of like it's a hopeful. It's definitely the happiest ending, though.
That one does seem like the nicest ending for sure.
Yeah, and I guess to wrap up even the solo ending, you go front doors of the tower and you storm it by yourself. If you die at any point, it rolls credits.
No way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And that's your ending. But to get it, you have to have 100% relationship with Johnny, which I don't. You have to be really specific with your dialogue choices with him.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what it comes down to, is you have to pick very specific options throughout the story. That, like, I think that there's like a breaking point when you do the mission that gets you his gun. There are like specific dialogue options you have to pick right then. And then later on, there are other dialogue options that you also have to pick. And then I think you have to wait for like a minute before he actually offers the option anyways, right?
It's 5 whole minutes.
5 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. Which is so annoying to me because,
I agree.
You know, the first time you have to make all these choices and do the correct choices for this, you do that, and then it's maybe like 10 hours of game before you do the next thing or something. Or, I mean, at least a couple hours. And then after that, it's like, well, if you don't want to immediately go to the ending, you have a couple more hours of things to do. A few more hours. So there's like no way to save scum to get everything you need. So I think my first playthrough, I was like 80% with Johnny, and this one I was 90%.
Oh man,
Johnny.
Yeah. No, it seems like I don't even know how people discovered it. It was probably just like a developer who knew about it, who spread the word or something. Because in order to do that naturally, I hate things like that. Honestly, I love a game where I don't have to look up anything, right? But like the missions, the things in games where it's like, okay, there's this very specific location that you have to go to get this quest item. It's underwater and you have to break the glass and then swim through, and you'll barely have enough stuff to do it. And if you're not looking for it, you won't see it. Shit like that, I hate it.
Yeah, that's just
like, how am I supposed to know that except for to look it up?
Exactly. And the thing that especially bothers me about this one is I think that would be a fun combat challenge. It's probably, and I would imagine it would be one of the hardest challenges in the game, because you got nobody helping you, you got mechs, you got people loaded up with armor, guns, there's cameras, there's drones, there's everything. I think that would be a really fun combat challenge to just try and storm it by yourself, to at least have the option to do it by yourself.
No, totally.
And I'm kind of sad that that's ripped from me because I didn't pick the right
very,
things.
very specific, I don't know, stuff. Yeah, even if it's like 90% as well. That's like, you said most of the right things. You just didn't say like one thing that you needed to say.
Exactly.
Like, which is dumb narratively, I think. Yeah. Now, also that it's like basically the same ending as if, as if you didn't. It's kind of weird that it's so secret.
Yeah, because there is no difference at the end, because you get to Mikoshi with that one by yourself, and then you get to choose if Johnny or V takes the body. If Johnny takes it, it's the same exact Johnny ending, and if V takes it, it's the same as the orbital casino ending, except Rogue is alive and is still the queen of the afterlife.
I see. Yeah.
That's the only difference, is Rogue lives.
Yeah, which is something, I guess, but like barely.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah, I don't know. That it's weird. I don't like things like that. I don't like things that it just make it completely necessary to look up a guide in order to be able to encounter that content. Maybe there's like the off chance that somebody, like the 5 minute, even if it had just been like, okay, if you pick all these things, then he'll offer it. That's one thing. But that you have to wait 5 minutes is so specific that you just have to know about it. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like secrets. I like secrets in games, and I like there to be like these paths that you can take. That like, oh, you might not have known, but you can take this path. That's fine. But I like it where it can actually come up naturally.
Yeah. And to Cyberpunk's credit, you actually reminded me of something. Did you know there's over 250 little micro stories that you have to find to experience in this game?
What do you mean micro stories?
So they're called internally at CD Projekt, and I guess the community calls them hidden gems. So for example, you may be walking. So one in particular that I remember a lot is I was walking down a sidewalk and I saw there was like a turret on the wall, and it was next to a garage. And I went up and I deactivated the turret that was active. It was killing people. That's how I saw it. I heard it first. So I walked over and I investigated this little kitty corner. I opened the garage and there's like a dead netrunner in like a bath. And there's a couple items I could loot from there. And there was a little like log talking about this person and like what they were doing. And it was just kind of a natural way for me to experience just a little micro story of something that happened in Night City that I just kind of discovered. And I guess there's over 250 of those little areas where there's a unique text log plus a unique item or items to find.
Interesting. Yeah, no, that is really cool. I think that's just good world building, right?
Yeah, exactly.
To have these stories in the world. That's great.
And you can completely like miss them, like a lot of them.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of mods that build those into the gigs.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So you don't miss any of them if you wanted to experience all of them. It's kind of funny.
That is funny. Yeah, I do remember that. As I was playing through, thinking like, wow, the attention to detail is crazy, because there's just like these little items that exist in the world that would make sense that they would exist there, like all the trash and stuff that exists there. Like it makes sense that like this particular stuff is here and this is here. I don't know. I remember thinking that and being like, wow, they did pay a lot of attention to like their set design, basically.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So I think it's a great game. I think they did a great job. I really enjoy it. I know I griped a lot, but and I've got some complaints, but it is a flawed masterpiece. I would still rate it there.
Yeah, absolutely. Flawed masterpiece, I think, is a perfect way to put it.
No.
Because it's just so good. And again, like I can't even stress enough like how much I love those moments where they take you and a character and you just kind of sit there and you vibe with some background music, and you just kind of talk about how the city affects people and decision making and how nobody ever wins. I think that really hits home with me for some reason. I think especially right now where I'm like job searching and I just kind of feel like I've been screwed over by like the education system. Like my degree means nothing to anybody, and I'm just kind of trying to scrape by.
Yeah, man.
Feels like the city is winning. In that way, I vibe with Cyberpunk.
Yeah. No, I feel like a lot of people do. It's a very common occurrence. That's why that zombie show is so like interesting. I feel like to me that I was talking about Zom 100 or whatever. Where I'm like, that seems like a sentiment, you know? Like,
yep,
that's a thing. Yeah, the slog, man.
Such a good game.
It is.
And I am sad for many of my friends and people I know who won't be able to experience some of the masterful strokes in here, just because it's just really, really good. There's some really excellent, really fun stuff in this game.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's a great experience for sure.
Mm-hmm. And I hope that Phantom Liberty can kind of redeem it for some people.
Yeah.
So that the devs can get the recognition that I think they deserve after, fixing it up and making it mostly to what they promised.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think that there are still some people, like, it's like Hogwarts Legacy stuff, right? I think Hogwarts Legacy has been received very well, but there are people, I think, who expect Hogwarts Legacy to be, and I kind of mentioned this briefly in the podcast a little earlier, but there's some people who expect it to be like the Hogwarts simulator, right? And people want that. People want, okay, this game is basically me going through living my life as if I were actually in like the world of Harry Potter. And people feel that same way about Cyberpunk, where it's like, oh, it's going to be completely immersive. I'm just going to live my life in this very free form, open world. Like, I'm going to live in Night City as my own person, and anything could happen, you know? The same thing happened with No Man's Sky. That's when the hype train gets a little dangerous, and that's when people start to expect, like, oh, okay, it's going to be just like I'm living in real life, but I'm going to be in Cyberpunk world, you know?
In Cyberpunk. Yeah, that's a dangerous line of thinking.
It is, and no game can really be like that. And I think that most games, like the closest one is maybe like Minecraft, I guess, because it's you kind of want like a sandbox in that case, you know?
Exactly. Yeah,
but it's not necessarily like the experience that the devs are trying to bring to you, you know? And it's a great experience, the one that they landed on, I think. And I would love for there to be a sandbox Night City Cyberpunk 2077 game, but that's not what Cyberpunk 2077 is.
No, definitely not. It's very narratively driven. You are a character. You are not yourself. Yeah, and it is great. It landed. Yeah, really well. Had a little struggle, but I think it landed really well. Hit home for me both times.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really hit home for me the first time, but it did the second time. And I think a part of that was like I was willing to immerse myself a little bit more, read a few more things, kind of understand the world a little bit more. I love the setting, but I don't think I'm drawn to it quite the same as you are. I am drawn to it, but I don't necessarily have that bias. It could be any, and I think that, like, honestly, I typically like fantasy over sci-fi a lot of the times, even though they kind of blend together in my mind a lot of the time. So
yeah, there is a lot of similarities between the two.
Yeah, I mean, the truth for me, like kind of how I view sci-fi versus fantasy, is that in order to make it sci-fi, call your magic psionics, and then you're done.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a matter of perspective, really.
Yeah, exactly.
And at the end of the day, all the stories are about people.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. And when you do it well, it doesn't matter.
Not just beings.
Like, this is a huge aside, but I was just thinking about, like, have you seen Agritsuko, the show?
It sounds familiar.
It's
but
like,
I don't think I have.
It's like almost Hello Kitty, but it's like a death metal singing. Red Panda. I have
images in my mind.
It's amazing. Yes. Okay, I didn't think that I would like it a lot, but I've watched it now, and it's one of my favorite shows of all time. It's so good. So I can't even remember why I thought of that. It's like I said, it's a huge aside, but it's just this thing. I think it's just a matter of like, it doesn't matter. It's the story, right? It's like, it doesn't necessarily matter what the setting is, because it's like a slice of life kind of story. But in my opinion, the story is really, really good. So it doesn't necessarily matter what the setting is, as long as the story is good, I'll still like it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel that.
So.
But I am just slightly more biased to cyberpunk things. There's just a lot of interesting things that I like to think about that. Just they don't have answers, they don't have meanings, they don't have explanations because they're not real.
Yeah. I do really like that. I love when a story delves into some of the actual conundrums that would happen only within that world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Yeah. It makes a little mind mystery.
Yeah, and it gets you thinking. And I often really enjoy media that makes me think.
Mm-hmm. And Cyberpunk made me think.
Me too. I agree.
And I appreciated that.
Yeah. Even as we're going through the podcast, there's some things that I haven't thought about that I'm thinking about. Like the engram thing in the end. Like, yeah, it's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a real Ship of Theseus type stuff. Is it really you?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, you ever watch The Prestige, is it?
I don't think so.
Oh, man. Okay, well,
I've got my list is growing of things to watch.
I'm not gonna talk about that anymore at all because I'm not gonna spoil it for you. You have to watch that one.
Oh, okay.
It's very much this conundrum. Like it delves into it, and it's very interesting. Let me make sure that I'm recommending you the right show, the right movie. Okay. It's a movie with it's got Hugh Jackman in it and Christian Bale. It's amazing.
I've never heard of this.
2006 show. It's way good. It's one of my favorite shows.
I think I'm ready to get to my ultimately. Ultimately, this is a flawed masterpiece. I would recommend it to many, many, many people. I think there is so much in Cyberpunk that you can do. I mean, even if you just wanted to beeline the story, I think a lot of people critique the story. And I think right off the bat, a lot of people will understand if it's something that they want to immerse themselves with or not. So I would be more willing to recommend it to a lot of people just so that they can be exposed to know if they're ready to like be invested in the story and in the gameplay. But it's very like, it's very Fallout almost. Like if you enjoy Fallout, I feel like you would enjoy Cyberpunk. It's kind of the most similar line I could draw. Comparisons are hard, and they're not fair either. But that's the closest I feel like I could get.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's a pretty fair recommendation. Honestly, I feel that it does have those kinds of vibes, and I feel like it is one of those games just like Fallout, where the more you immerse yourself, the more I think you'll enjoy it. So. Yeah, I think if you feel like getting into, I would recommend like if you feel like getting into one game for an extended period of time and you want to like kind of delve deep into a game, I would recommend Cyberpunk. If you want something that's a little more mindless, I would recommend maybe something else.
Yeah, something more mindless or something a little less open world. I think this game kind of marks the beginning of my open world fatigue, going around the map and going to certain icons to do certain things, to mark them off of a thing. There's a lot of that. It's not that it's not rewarding, because the amount of detail and the amount of story and narrative you're able to suck dry from some of these like side quests and gigs and missions is really dense in comparison to some of the other open world fatigue type things. But it's still a very prevalent part of the design.
Yeah, it's true, but it is a well-crafted world, and this is something I would recommend to anybody who's playing it as well. Is avoid fast travel. You should just drive.
Yes, never fast travel. Don't do it.
It's much more fun and much more immersive to most. I skip some car rides. If the people stop talking, I just skip it. Right, like it's not a big deal to me. But but when I'm going from place to place throughout the world, it's really fun to drive through, recognize the roads, recognize some places that I've visited, and really make it feel like the city is like where I currently am, I guess, is this character. Driving, and the driving's really fun, and the radio is amazing, so you've got plenty to do. It's not unfun to travel around. It's more fun than waiting in the loading screen for around that same period of time.
Indeed. Agreed.
Yeah.
I hope that Phantom Liberty puts this game on some people's maps.
I think it'll be in the public eye for sure. And I mean, I'm interested in it and seeing how it turns out. And I hope your friends play it. I don't know, especially the one who was interested in it.
Yeah.
Hey, you, if you're listening to this, play the game.
Yeah. But, I mean, if I just have you to talk to about it, that's enough for me. One person.
Cool. Yep.
At least one person I know.
Yeah, I like it.
Good. Yeah. Well, hopefully that's a good enough recommendation to sway some people.
Yeah. Despite all the griping that I've done, yeah, it is definitely worth your time. You'll have a lot of fun, I think, if you do pick it up and get yourself immersed in it.
Indeed, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Well, I guess we transition to the closing. You got any socials you want to plug? Anything you want to mention or say?
No, nothing that really needs to be on the public radar necessarily. Just Jorddagreatest. You know, I'm on itch.io. Got some like small projects out there. Expect a bigger game, hopefully in the semi-near future.
Nah, heck yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, and I guess for Void Arcade, you can find us on the socials and under Void Arcade. Or anchor.fm/Void Arcade. That's the Spotify given web handle. That'll take you to any of your favorite podcast sites to be able to follow the show. And I also think I have the socials for it listed in there as well. And I'm on social media as the name Brand, or the name Brando with an O at the end. But yeah, I think that's just going to do it for this episode.
Yeah.
Void Arcade, thanks again for joining me, Jordan. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, I had a great time.
I did too. I'm really glad we finally got to do this. It's been way long in the making.
Long time in the making.
And I'm just excited to finally be doing creative stuff again after my little absence from life.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I like your stuff.
Thanks. I like your stuff.
Thank you.
It's great that we're friends.
I agree. Wow. Sounds awesome.
Anyway, I guess we will catch everyone later, and I will play us an outro.
Wahoo.
Catch us next time when we talk about another game.
More stuff.